Postcard shot of Kamloops, Canada's tournament capital, and the community doing a wonderful job. Day 5, Scotties Tournament of Hearts. The first Scotties, 1982 in Regina, and 41 years later, we're in Kamloops, BC. Who will be the champion at the end of the week and represent Team Canada at the Worlds in Sweden? The road continues, and our feature is PEI Alberta on this Thursday afternoon. Draw 10 from earlier today, and what a battle from the Northwest Territories in Carrie-Galusha. Jennifer Jones had an 8-2 lead after the third end. This came down to the final shot in 10, and Jennifer had to come through that little port, make the hit, and secure the victory. It wasn't the cleanest game, but the Manitoba team, the 6-time Scotties champ, able to pull off the win. Final score, 10-8. Andrea Kelly, who found the podium last year, a 7-6 win over Team Scheidegger. BC and Clancy Grandy, a 12-4 victory as they continue to roll. And Team Wildcard, number 1, Caitlin Laws, 8-3 over Saskatchewan and Robin Silvernagel. So it's getting a little bit more clear. A lot of curling still to come. However, Anderson, 5-0 on Pool A. And look at Pool B. You got McCarville, Jones, 4-1. DeLucia, Holman at 3-2. And just remember, only the top 3 from each pool will qualify to the playoffs. Coming inside the Sandman Center, glad you're watching our coverage on this Tuesday afternoon. Brian Mudrick, Scotties champion Joanne Courtney, Russ Howard, and Kathy Gauthier will join us shortly. And Joe, I guess we've learned one thing from this morning action. No lead is safe this year at the Scotties.
I think we're seeing a lot of comebacks this year, Brian, and I think it has something to do with that no-tick rule we're seeing. No lead is safe. Jennifer Jones up 6, had to throw a shot against the loss this morning.
One of the great stories is PEI versus Alberta, our feature. How about Jerry Lynn Ramsey? Back at the Scotties for the first time since 2010 when she made a final for PEI with Kathy O'Rourke. And this Alberta team, Russ, you feel, is getting their mojo going now.
And it's pretty predictable, isn't it? For Skrlik, it's their first time here. You got the lights, you got the TV, you got the distractions. The ice is a little bit tricky. They played 2 of the front runners, lost them both, and didn't look good, to be honest. But ice is getting better. They're figuring out 91% in their last 2 games. They're the best team here all of a sudden.
Suzanne Birt has been here many times. This her 15th appearance, 5th straight as well at the Scotties. And Joanne, you're recently removed from the game. What do you remember about facing Suzanne Birt?
Anytime we played Suzanne Birt, we either lost or we won in an extra end. They play with tons of rocks in play, and Suzanne is normally on fire. She started this week off strong. Bit of faltering lately. She's going to have to come out strong today.
Remember Suzanne, that rookie year, she came out hot, 10-3, and won that bronze medal. PEI trying to get back to the podium once again. And that sets up our feature. It is Alberta. It is PEI. Coming up next from Kamloops on TSN.
Making steps in the right direction will be good for any team. There's a lot of good teams here, so you've got to bring your best game every game, and everyone's going to have to play well, and we're just really excited to play against the best in Canada.
I don't think there's a weak team, especially in our pool, so going out and playing every game like it's our last will be really important. Also, we play PEI, which is Jerry's home province, so that will also be a fun match.
The 2023 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is presented by Purex Bathroom Tissue. It's pure comfort. By Tim Hortons, the official coffee of Curling Canada. By BKT Tires and OK Tire. And by PointsBet Canada, the official sportsbook of Curling Canada.
So a few of the teams on the ice this morning right back at it, including over on Sheet B as Andrea Crawford looking to pick up win number 3 over Wildcard 3. Team Canada, Carrie Anderson rolling 5-0, looking to go 6-0 to start her Scotties campaign. Our feature on Sheet C, and Jennifer Jones, remember that close game earlier today, pulled it out, and that now 4-1 record. It is time to meet the teams, brought to you by Home Hardware. Here's how. And we begin with Team Alberta out of the Garrison Curling Club in Calgary. Kayla Skrlik, Brittany Tran, Jerrilyn Ramsey, and at lead, Ashton Skrlik. And Team Prince Edward Island. There you see Megan Hughes, your lead. Second, Michelle Shea. Marie Christensen, the skip. But it is Suzanne Birt and Team Birt, and she throws the fourth rock for this team from PEI. Rock colors on this Tuesday afternoon. For PEI, it is yellow. Team Alberta, red. And the hammer won by Suzanne Birt, as the Scotties veteran looks to try and claw her way back into that championship weekend. And to start things off, it is the Alberta lead, Ashton Skrlik. And I think it is so cool, first time here for Kayla and for Ashton, two sisters getting to experience this together. And Russ, I'll come to you first. I mean, you had that opportunity for years to play with your brother, and what that means, that family dynamic on the ice like this.
Nothing like it. You know, you're obviously trying to win yourself, but to win for your brother and vice versa, of course. That everybody says is the Olympics your biggest, what you remember, the best memory, but it's really winning that first Brier with Glenn. But the way they won Alberta. Oh my goodness, the shot.
Nice. Ashton and Kayla, they've played together their entire lives. There was 1 year they didn't play together, and that was when Ashton was still in juniors and Kayla had aged out. Otherwise, they've been a tandem, teammates forever. So you saw the joy and the excitement when they won. Broom tosses. Ashton was like a 15 out of 10 excited. It was so fun to watch.
That was really must-see TV. Really cool, and what a way to win, and you see that excitement.
Yeah. Like a 4.
Time for the keys to the game, and let's begin now with Team Alberta.
Oh, they're right on schedule. We talked about it in the opening. First two games, not great, but that's very, very predictable. 91% from that point on, and it's all about confidence. If you could bottle confidence, look at all the teams out here. Some are struggling, then they play well, but they're the best team in the last two draws. Keep it going. And too bad she left. Former Islander Jerrilyn Ramsey, number 1 second, which will be the key against her former province for Alberta.
Hard. Nice sweep. It hung way longer this time on the cross. It's only full 8. Hit it, I think. Did I get hit?
Foul the corner. And if you're Team Prince Edward Island, for Suzanne Birt, she needs to take more ice on her interns. She's a left-handed curler, so she follows other teams in the outturn line, which usually runs straighter. Her intern hits are only 45%. A little more ice, and she'll bring that stat right up. And they also need to keep it simple. With Suzanne struggling a little bit in the last couple of games, simplifying that game, get her confidence back, and she'll be back to shooting in a regular form.
You really gotta go. Yep.
Keys to the game brought to you by Sponge Towels. Absorb life. All of it.
Down.
Big change for Team PEI this year. Suzanne is no longer calling the game. So she was a skip who called the game for her entire curling career, juniors, all of women's. And at the start of the season, she went to Marie and said, I want to do some sweeping. And Marie said, that sounds great. So now Marie's in the house, and Suzanne, this is her first Scotties, having to sweep 4 rocks.
That can't be fun. When you're part of a skips union, you just, you kind of avoid that manual labor.
Well, it's different, Russ. She's used to seeing the ends come at her and see all those lines and really get a good idea of how everything will run. And now she sweeps those 4 rocks and only gets to see 2 of them when she holds the broom for Marie. I think that's a big change.
Yeah, no question.
I love it, though. I mean, if you signed up for it, we mentioned her 14th Scotties appearance, a new challenge, a breath of fresh air. If that's what the player wants to do to feel successful, then why not do that, right?
And after playing for so many years, it is exciting to switch around positions. We hear lots of teams that have jiggled things around, or the new teams forming, people playing new positions. They like having something new to spice up the game.
Suzanne, really close. Hard, Suzanne. Hard to touch it. Go. You gotta go.
Okay.
No.
Let's bring in the hardest working woman in show business now, Kathy Gauthier.
Thanks, Muddy. Some really interesting matchups this afternoon. Canada's Val Sweeting, the third, the best amongst all thirds, but she's taking on Saskatchewan's Kelly Schaefer, who shot 92% in that game this morning. So that should make for an interesting match. New Brunswick's Andrea Kelly won this morning, cannot afford to lose again. She's taking on Megan Walters, who we saw last night in that game against Krista McCarville, showed that she can play, and so that's not an easy match. And what could be a big shootout at the OK Corral will be Haley Burney and Jennifer Jones, both loving lots of rocks in play. And while it might sound imbalanced, Haley Burney beat Casey Scheidegger yesterday and then pushed Rachel Homan to last rock.
Kathy, an incredible two in the game that you and I called. And Jennifer Jones and Northwest Territories' Carrie Galusha. Remember, down by 6 in the third end, and Galusha nearly came all the way back. And teams in Scotties history 3 times have come back from 6, and the most recent was actually 2007, and it was the same customers, but actually Jennifer Jones did come back and beat Carrie Galusha that year in 2007. And as you talked about, Joe, off the top, no lead is safe, and that's what makes it exciting for us, for the fans at home watching. Maybe not so much for the curlers, though.
Go, right over. Okay, no roll. No roll, just leave it. Okay.
We saw this end. Alberta started by throwing a rock in the rings. PEI made the hit, and there was an exchange of hits. Because that rock was higher up in the house, PEI opted to throw a delayed corner guard. So they waited, but they still utilized the 5-rock rule. That guard, unfortunately, was only just over the hog line. So advantage for Alberta at the moment.
And they're guarding 2 real good ones, aren't they?
Yeah, there was a peel run-back attempt that was flashed. So work to do it for PEI.
And this young lady with the most experience on this team, 3rd Scotties for Tran. We saw her in the bubble in Calgary with wildcard 1, playing with Beth Peterson. And then 2019 Sydney playing with Carrie Galusha, Nova Scotia.
Thanks. Okay. That's good. 6, 8, like trying to go after the...
Long enough. I think you can get around there and get a good chunk of that top 8-foot rock.
Yeah, the big question, though, Russ, is first end. Not a lot has been in this path. We often see these over curl. A little bit of fresh pebble.
Yeah, there's a steady diet, wasn't it, the first couple of days? It looks like it's getting a little bit more predictable. Yeah, you need this when you can't flash this wide.
Down. I thought it was back to board. Board.
Marie Christensen.
Megan.
In her 6th Scotties appearance, all with Suzanne Birt.
Go, 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 go. Nice shot.
Fantastic.
Love the shot. Good.
It was probably better not to remove the reds and get rid of that dangerous one on the top of the button. Now they've got a bit of breathing space.
Yeah, and those rocks behind the tee line might be usable later in the end.
I wouldn't mind being like the 11 in the corner.
It was hard to do. It's almost got right to the nose here.
Yeah, it's just the right weight. It was low early out of her hand, but because she had the right speed on it, it caught the curl. Able to get that rock off the button.
Friday, Saturday, those were all wrecking, weren't they?
Yeah, good throw. I thought the weight was close. Yeah. Just the way it hit you off.
And a little jam there as PEI now with hammer, shot stone back 4.
Right now. Yeah. You're like just coming around. Yeah, just how. Let's go this way.
The outturn side of the sheet is tricky to navigate with that high corner guard. This is it's a little bit trickier to come around a rock top 12 foot, but there's a bit more space. As long as this rock is partially covered. It doesn't have to be fully buried here.
A lot of talk, Russ, about the ice. So this is day 5 for all the athletes, so everyone's had a lot of chances, played on some different sheets. Is this the time of the week, though, you have to grab that stranglehold and start to really figure out what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you look at the great Jennifer Jones. She, you know, with all that experience, skipping her entire life, she's been able to read it a little quicker than her opponents. And you can't afford it. Teams like this, once you're down to 2 losses, you've got to figure it out today. But I think it's much more readable, especially early in the game, than it was Friday night.
I don't know, that or we play this long run. Because we don't want to give up a big end early. And if I miss this, then like if I miss it, the game end is they're getting 3. Do you want to play this long run? And if I peel it, it's fine. Then they at least have to put up the guard. There's no room, like you can't see it at all. Yeah. You guys like this?
The other option here is you could go after the back yellow with a hack weight or split the reds, and then you've got some in-offs.
Yeah. Nose is fine.
Because this is no gimme here. There's a lot of space here.
Yeah, the scary part about the split, though, they're lobbing another one around there. You're looking at 3 on your last. Yeah. At least if you miss the run, you have to guard, and you've got to draw to maybe a freeze.
You'd be able to come off something with some speed. That's the only thing. And the hard part with this one is making it. Can you get that second guard?
Yeah, first end, fresh pebble. Will this curl? Will it run straight? And it's such a long run.
You know my favorite part? Well, there's many parts, but just being in this seat and getting to listen to you guys who played at a very high level, just all the options. There's just so many things you can do, and at the end of the day, it's be confident. And if you're Kayla, pick the shot you think you can make and execute. As she tries here.
Nice shot.
And she'll open things up a little bit.
That's good.
The key's moving that guard. Now she can throw some speed at those two.
Yeah, she did well to connect on that. That's a very, very difficult shot to start the game.
She really wanted to play it too, eh? She was convinced that that's the one.
And that weight selection, if she didn't bomb it, like that seemed to be a nice weight.
Yeah, I think we should see more of that. Too many people want to throw rockets at those, and you've either missed it or made it out of your hand. You give those brushers something to do.
As Joanne's shaking her head.
That's right,
yeah, make the front end do the work, Russ. Shocking.
Front end loves being in the picture because then you get to take credit for the make.
Yeah.
And the air would be
That's
wider.
what you're there for.
Yeah.
You can't see her, but Kathy's rolling her eyes as well somewhere over there.
You know it.
I know that eye roll all too well there, partner.
Yeah, it's like similar to your draw the button, maybe a foot slower.
And Joe, as you alluded to, just the silent assassin for many years, taking competitors to the brink, Suzanne Birt.
Yeah, and we saw her numbers there. She's lower than I would have expected her to be. She's such a Scotties veteran. She doesn't get rattled by the moment or the big picture. But it's always in there with players like this.
And just a little bit heavy here. You heard them. Maybe we've got to go around those two. And now that opportunity here for Kayla Skrlik to clean up a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, that's an unforced error there for sure.
That's okay.
Even short of the rings, and you're running in the wrong color for Skrlik. What do you like here?
You play a double and roll.
Nose, and then she has to pick it out.
Can you get it really thin and maybe even make the triple?
Double?
I like the double.
Peel.
She's okay right now.
High side doubles there, but you could jam it too.
If you make the triple, to your point, Russ, then you force because you got those two little biters. Unless you try this wicked, there's no way they're going to try that.
No, not with the last rock. No. Yeah, I'm not sure the doubles there. It's awfully steep, or the triple, I mean. But
just the double. Okay.
So they're just going to go high side double.
Half.
If she hits this thin enough, she's going to be really close to that left-hand yellow.
Okay. You got it. Yeah.
Safe call here, though. You give up two. It's lots of game left.
And to your point on the top of the show, yes, maybe a tough opening day, but nice numbers here. She's starting to find her groove.
No kidding.
Kayla Skrlik. Trying to remove some yellows. Got one, got two, and she'll limit the damage. So it will be the draw for two for PEI. As Kathy, our updates begin on this afternoon. Sheet B, let's start with New Brunswick Kelly and wild card Walter.
Well, most of those rocks have been thrown by the skips. The yellow one was Megan going around. Andrea came on top. And when Megan tried to replicate her first shot, she had great weight, but it over curled. So it is New Brunswick lying shot. This is an opportunity for two. And she's just thrown it into the 4-foot.
Has the lowest hammer efficiency so far in the field.
This needs to stop.
It just slides that little bit too far. So yeah, that is a missed opportunity. She'll take her single. And back to our feature. So it's the open draw here for And Suzanne Birt.
Good one, Suzanne. Nice. Two.
Just needed some of the H. She does a little bit better finding the hearts. And 2 on the board. So a great start for Suzanne Birt. PEI up by 2 as we're underway here at the Scotties. Welcome back to our Scotties coverage here in Kamloops. Great to be back in British Columbia. 42nd edition of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. 9th time that this competition in the great province of British Columbia. And a nice start for PEI. Suzanne Birt putting 2 on the board. So here in the second in Alberta with Hammer Redstones. And skip Kayla Skrlik trying to answer here in the second end.
I think you can get him with hack. Okay. Do you think I'll have to be solid hack here?
I don't mind it if mine came down as much as it did.
Okay.
Well, you talk about the sibling combo. If anyone knows the release of Ashton Skrlik, it's going to be sister Kayla with all those years throwing rocks, talking, curling, growing up together, practicing together.
I've played against Ashton a few times, and she is so intense. And I love seeing that out of a front-end player. Just highly engaged in the game, and she gets excited when big shots are made. It'd be just a great support to have on your team. Someone you know always has your back.
Just didn't even move it at all. Wow.
Okay.
Good poker player right there. You would know if she made it or didn't make the shot.
Careful. Good control. You're running. Suzanne. Gotta go, Suzanne. Yeah, really hard. Yeah, 9-5.
Oh, and the jam. But got away with it as the Alberta Rock scoots out.
9-5. Yeah.
It's funny, Alberta wasn't happy with that tap back, didn't get the PEI Rock out, and it ends up helping them.
So as you look at this skip, Kayla Skrlik, and you check out the schedule. Coming in with a 2-2 record. So as you mentioned, Russ, yeah, tough start, but you're taking on 2 really good teams, Wildcard Laws, Silvernagle, and then the bounce back, Nunavut getting some confidence, and the win versus Leroy St. George. And to your point, what was the number in the last little while when you talk about percentages?
91% the last 2 games. The best team out here statistically is Team Canada at 85, Alberta 92.
And it takes time.
Yeah,
you know, as you mentioned, the cameras, big stage here for the first time, and a team with some momentum as they were 7-0 in Alberta during the week and earned that bye to the provincial final, and then beat Casey Scheidegger, who's here as a wild card team as well.
Beat her in the round robin too. Went through undefeated. Like that's pretty impressive.
A little bit early.
I've heard Kayla Skrlik talk quite a bit about working with sports psychologists, and that's something that would come into play huge in this setting. They lost a couple games they shouldn't have to start the week. Both those losses, they could have won. And that just shows their mental resilience, and a lot of teams don't have that support coming into their first Scotties.
No question.
I'll give you less ice.
Oh, there's the broom malfunction. It's like the skate blades. Got to pop that back on. There you go.
Aggressive call here. They could hit that yellow one. They're down 2. It doesn't make sense to hit it, but a lot of teams would. It's your confidence level. They're going to try to loop one around that corner guard.
Top good.
Yeah, pretty amazing. Second Scotties representing PEI now Alberta for Jerry Lynn Ramsey. First time in 2010, losing that final, and now all those years later, back at the show with Alberta. And trying to get this one in behind this corner guard.
Higher the better, really. It's starting to poke out on the intern side.
And it is shot stone.
It's a pretty nice spot.
And for Prince Edward Island, and this team out of the Cornwall Curling Club, a 1-3 record coming in. You can't drop to that 4th loss. It was a tough start, losing to BC, and then the rebound, a 10-2 victory over Nunavut, losing to Christina Black, and then Carrie Anderson. Obviously such a tough group on both sides, and really, you can't afford any more losses than 3. I mean, you're not mathematically out, but you know, if you look and you sit down and you chart things, 3 losses, you don't want any more.
Top 4. Wait if you can. It looks like it's good. Megan's wrong. It's curling hard now. Back 4. It's over curling. It's back 4. Yep.
This is going to go right around the guard and come out in the open.
All right, Kathy, updates continue. Team Canada and Team Saskatchewan.
Well, there was a long guard out front, and that was what Robin Silvernagel was trying to run in on her second. She was trying to draw on her first, came short, and Carey looped around. And when that run back was not made, this is open territory for Carey. Needs full 12 for 4.
Line's still good.
Carey Anderson, I guess we should not be surprised, leads this field in hammer efficiency, and she does it better than I can say it. Efficiency, 4 in. Kathy's laughing. Thank you, Kathy Gauthier.
No, she was a fisherman.
4-0 Canada.
It's from the Interlake. So.
And it will roll, peek out the other side of that high guard.
That PEI come around, Joanne, like it was totally wide open around. It went right around the guard and over curl by 1.5 feet.
Yeah, weight was perfect. It went crazy at the end.
Start to open you up.
Tran, the Canadian Junior champ in 2012, as a third with Jocelyn Peterman, winning that gold medal. So many great junior players when you look around these current teams, just a testament to that drive to continue to chase your dream and play in the Scotties and be successful here.
Yes!
And Suzanne Birt, same boat, and she's a Canadian Junior champ as well, back to back. Look at that little flop, top hearts buried.
Very nice.
Sorry, I thought I was soft, so I think you have to play board though. Yeah. Board.
This is where the game's really changed, in my opinion, with the free guards on the no-tick. You get a guard out like that, there's so much curl. If you can throw the right weight on ice like this, you can make anything, but you better throw the right weight. What are they thinking, like a board here maybe?
Yeah, they said board. They have about a third of it available, so it should curl a little bit past the guard, and I think they'd like to roll away.
Board. Whoa. 11. Ashton. Hard for team. Hard. Carry the roll.
So when you were sweeping, and obviously you were one of the best sweepers in the world to do it, did you always want to be on the inside? Did it matter? Like, how was your setup? Did it depend on the shot? Like, what was the philosophy when you were sweeping?
Yeah, it's the person closest to the rock is going to be the one fighting the curl typically. So if the rock is curling towards you, you're using your strongest stroke, which is the push stroke, the away stroke from your body to help directionally keep that there. If it's curling away from you, that's kind of the finish. And I always loved having the rock. If we had a draw for the win, I just loved how the body position I could get in. You go right behind the rock, you see that snow plow where the brush is directly in front, and you just feel that power of being able to manage that stone and carry it.
Who's got great technique in today's game that impresses you?
There's tons of phenomenal brushers in the field now, and really effective stuff out there. And sometimes it depends on body composition and what works best for everyone. So they all work on a lot of different things. You have to say the Team Canada brushers, their intensity, the way that they work as a tandem is outstanding, and they're very, very effective.
Do you want to go here?
Nice chance here now.
Like just coming around. Probably come around. Okay.
That might take our 2 away. I don't mind this, or like open size in the worst, but.
To your point, Brian, this is one of those fairly simple situations where there's about 7 answers. If you go around and you come deep, you're in trouble. If you go around, you come up a little light, it's really a guard, you're in trouble. You go around the corner guard to sit 2, that's pretty good, but there's a yellow raise. You can go wide open, sit your 2. There's so many options.
So does that just come down either A, simplest, or B, whatever the thrower wants to throw at the end of the day?
Well, you certainly have to factor that in because you have to be able to execute the darn thing.
Updates continue. Sheet B, New Brunswick Kelly, and wildcard 3 Walter out of Manitoba.
And an opportunity for 2 in this end for Megan. Andrea Kelly did have an opportunity to make a double. Rocks very close together, but only got 1. And so Megan split the house. Andrea removed 1, but no way to get both of them. And there's your deuce.
So nice shot there from Megan Walter. And a 2-1 advantage. And you know, we're just seeing the start for this young lady. I know you've seen her frustrated a lot and some disappointment here for the first time, but they will get better and continue to get better as this week goes on, I'm sure.
There's the a little bit deep part. Do you try the freeze? Do you gamble? You're up 2. You could tap it out is the other option. What do you like?
If this is the Suzanne Birt I've played in the last few years, she's playing that freeze. You would think, oh, eliminate 1, they can only get 2, but she goes for the jugular here. Her draw weight is usually bang on. Last end, she was a little bit off with her first, but she had a chance to dial it in with her second. If you can lock this on, I bet you could even get shot, and it's hard to remove, Russ.
It'll drive you crazy, the strategy, isn't it? Because Alberta could have simply gone open side and not been in this problem.
Trails only Galusha and Jennifer Jones. All-time Scotties appearances of active players in this field. The great Colleen Jones leading the way all-time, of course.
Easy. Really nice Megan's rock. Really nice line. Stay Megan.
So needs a beauty here without Hammer. Her final stone in 2.
We're tapping. We're back 8. Back 4. Keep the line.
Back 8, back 4. Sounds like it's coming down nicely. Suzanne Birt. Oh my, how good is that? Shot stone, little tap.
Pick it clean.
And is that good enough?
Well, I think with a bit of work, you can get that out of there. You hit a little less than half with probably normal to peel.
1, it's fine.
2's still there, but it's not a simple shot.
No, it went from looking like a very simple 2 opportunity, and now high degree of difficulty for Kayla.
Jennifer Jones, you can see, stole 1 there, so a 3-0 lead over UConn as they try to go back-to-back on this Tuesday and wins.
I would say she's straight.
We haven't had too many rocks down this exact path. Could be a little crispy. I'm sure she's going to throw some weight with that broom, but
Yeah.
see if they can hold it out here.
Final stone, Kayla Skrlik, nothing yet. Big weight, trying to pick it free. Carve it over. Got to get a little piece, if anything, and is that enough? And it is not. Wow. And instead of an opportunity maybe for 2, it is a steal of 1. And Joanne Courtney called it, man. Suzanne Birt wanted to play that free. She comes in there, and it pays off as it's a steal for PEI. Game of inches. A 3-0 advantage for PEI in our feature here in Kamloops. Welcome back to the Sandman Center, home of the Kamloops Blazers in the Western Hockey League. They're on a 6-game road trip, and they will be hosting the Memorial Cup in this building. You can watch that on TSN later on in May, and their first game will come out of the representative of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, as the best female curlers from across our great country have taken over this week to crown a Canadian champion. In our feature this afternoon, it is PEI and Team Alberta, and again, it's Suzanne Birt, that perfect shot, drawing the force, picking up the 1, so a 3-0 advantage. And once again, it is Alberta with Hammer here in 3.
You know, it's funny, historically, PEI has crazy games with huge scoreboards, and she was asked in the pre-event interview, are we going to see a bunch of 12-11 games now that Marie Christensen's in the house? And Marie answered, I don't know, you'll have to wait and see.
Well, they made history. PEI New Brunswick a few years back combined for 25 points in a single game. Birt won 13-12 in an extra end, to your point. Take the over.
Nice. And I would almost argue that Marie is more aggressive than Suzanne.
Yeah, and I think absolutely, and I think that's hurt them a little bit because the ice wasn't really conducive to junking it up early in the games, and they got burned a few times.
Well, and I'd imagine the hard part about the person calling the game not being the last rock thrower is Marie has to feel out what Suzanne is feeling. I remember listening to Silvana Tiranzoni talk about that with Alina Pitts, the team from Switzerland. 3-time world champions, but she said the biggest thing for her was always trying to figure out where Alina was at. Can I push her? Is she feeling comfortable? And sometimes you can't just ask the player, you have to feel it out and see how they're looking for their confidence.
This morning, I talked with Carrie Galusha exactly about that, and she said she had to really make a cognizant effort to make sure that they were on the same page with Joanne Rizzo. Make sure I talk to Joanne, because she says, I've been the boss for a long time. We got to make sure we call the game, because Joanne Rizzo is throwing that final rock for our team, right? Being on that same page.
I like that speed. Yeah, that kick. Okay.
Nice little opportunity here. This spot's getting pretty quick. A little bit straighter today, a little bit faster it looks like in the spots that they've warmed up.
Brittany, back four, bumping, hard, Brittany, get it over. We're bumping. Little bump now, little bump now. Hard, get it to nose.
Good sweep. Brittany did well to get that over. If that bounces off, that's a death pocket back button.
Wait on nose, Michelle. Okay.
You bounce that off, PEI can just freeze right in there, and that rock's going nowhere.
It's pretty heavy too. It's amazing they got it to curl that much. Make this perfect. You could probably set 3.
No, off it.
Michelle Shea running back. Oh, what a double. Gets them both to go. Lovely touch.
It's nice curling. It was a long one.
Sticks her shooter, so still has a centerline guard to work with.
That's better.
8 Scotties for Shea. Most of them with Birt. A couple, though, with Robin McPhee back in 2017-18. And that is nice.
Good call. Good call. Only if you have to. Kate. Back four. To it. Rolling now. Line to good. Still Brittany. No, it's not Brittany.
Yes,
Do it.
yes.
Just straight.
Just to it. No, never. You don't have to be straight.
Just to it. Little bump.
Okay, just clean.
Good, Jerry.
Nice shot, Jer.
That is shot stone. Back 4.
Missed the time.
And it's Jerry Lynn Ramsey.
I'm a little surprised they called the freeze there, Russ. But if this freeze is made, as PEI is very well known to do, Marie Christensen, saying in the break, usually plays about 95% when I've played against her. Doesn't matter what she's played all week. She plays 95% whenever I've seen her. She's very good at these. Always really close with her draw weight.
Close. Can hurt line. Michelle.
Okay. Keep looking her close.
Keep looking. Where's me?
Yeah, top 4 would have been the play there.
Where's me? We're there. We're there.
If this is made, the scoring area is very small.
Michelle! Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't lose it. Whoa, whoa,
Curl too much.
Good.
Good throw. Yeah, I think it depends on when you play some of the Eastern teams in the week, isn't it? You know, like Newfoundland struggled so far. Andrea from New Brunswick went 1 and 2, starting to turn it around. Same with PEI, slow start. They don't play on a ton of surfaces similar to this.
Yeah, and because of their style of play, you're going to get blown out if these are the shots you're calling.
Yeah.
The overcurl does leave an opportunity for Alberta to jiggle these yellows around. You think you can squirt that yellow out of the forefoot?
I think you can. It's not even edge on edge, so. They said hack. I don't believe it.
There's no speed on that in
Grab
the
some
end.
pebble, maybe.
That might have been the first time down that line. It's only the third end here. They didn't play on that side of the sheet in the first end.
I think that looks good to me.
Yeah, guard the center line side.
Yeah, just be on center. Can I just have a hair more, Suzanne?
I like that. We can move it over.
We're playing the center here, not.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say it's all there.
Perfect spot for this, Joe. Where do they want it?
All there.
They just want to cross the center lane, straight guard the yellow rock that had overcurled for PEI.
No, wait.
Top 12.
They wanted this tight to make that tap difficult, but In the rings is going to give Alberta an opportunity to blast.
That's good, Marie. That works. I knew it was a hair too much. You might get them all.
Cue the blaster, as you said. Here we go.
Tricky to get them all because the top yellow's not, or the yellow that shot's not locked on very solid, but dead on with a bullet, they're all going to move.
And all of a sudden we have corner guards in play for Alberta.
And some red in the paint.
Add that up. It's a key shot here for Brittany Tran. Whoa, and then yes, which usually means it's close. Brittany Tran, run it back. Look at the yellows. They are moving, all of them. And as you guys pointed out, some reds now lying 1-2, some corner guards, and that could be a key shot here in 3.
100%, Brian. Like, look where it rolled, too. Wasn't far off getting them all. A little straighter back. That back 8 one would have gone a little farther. This is a sneaky little shot here. Other than some corner guards, I don't remember any hits here, so it's a bit of an educated guess.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything go off the center line. The shooter to get under, too, makes Suzanne play the in-between weight.
Good for it. And just roll over, Michelle.
So this will be Suzanne's intern.
That's the one she struggled with. We talked about it in the opening. Everybody, it's just natural to get a little quicker break point on your intern than your outturn. If you're following 7 right-handers, it can fool you a little bit.
Fourth rock throwers here in 3.
No roll.
Where's that shooter going?
Shade heavy.
Good.
Good try.
So shot stone still, Alberta with hammer here in 3.
Yeah, what do you like for weight? Or this one.
Do you like that?
I just either one. Well, I think, yeah, if we do this, they're freezing. Here?
Yeah.
Or they're going to tap.
Well, either way, they're freezing. Then that's double.
They figured out Suzanne Birt.
Probably here for now.
The playbook.
That's so important. That's such a big part of the sport too. Is that the other team? You have to figure out what you're up against. You know, what's their DNA? What are they going to try to do in these certain situations?
Well, the one board, Kathy, you can speak to this that you pulled up in our game this morning. Galusha Jones, the interns that Carrie Galusha loves to throw, right?
Yes. We took a look at it. Well, I was digging through some numbers last night, and it's 75% of all shots that she calls are the interns. And so the first thing Jennifer did today is force her to play the out turn every single time.
The exact same kick as what you gave us for this button one. That'll be really close.
Okay, cool. Then just T-line. Top 8's fine.
Where would you take ice? I'm thinking into the 8 foot a little bit. It should come. It'll be a bit straighter, but it will come.
So an opportunity here for Alberta to get on the board here in 3. And that's nice to see for Skipper. 84% on draws this week, first among skips. Needs a nice one here.
Okay, you're going to have to curl. Knife it. 3-8. Is it going to... We're just to it. It's really going, Britt. Yeah, we're just to it. No bump. On it now. You're good.
Want to settle and be second shot, and they will.
That's faster than I thought. Good.
And there you go, broom down.
Yeah.
And you know what's coming here.
Yeah, the problem with going around those corners instead of going around on the other side to be in front of your red is that this freeze was always available. If you would have played around the other side, sure, she's got to run back double, but if you leave it half open, like Suzanne Birt has the opportunity to shut down the end now.
Yeah.
Even if that rock had been above the tee and made perfectly.
Similar to end 2. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you didn't want to leave the run back.
Back 8. So I think the middle's close.
Okay.
Can she do it again? Final stone here, Suzanne Birt in 3.
Yeah, you gotta go, Megan.
And this one's picked up, though, right away. That's Michelle Shea and Megan Hughes. I don't know if they can save this one.
Yeah, roll it over. Roll it. Okay.
So an opportunity for Kayla Skrlik, Alberta, to get right back in this thing and draw in for 3.
Just didn't throw it.
I thought, and it just killed the weight. I think the weight would have been good with a nice crisp release. Like, I liked the kick. It's okay.
And what Marie's saying is the release was a little bit soft. It started to curl early, got into some fresh pebble. The life died off of it right away.
Speed off of
A nice extension to keep it on that line.
Once that happens.
Would have carried through further, and the weight was probably closer than it looked. This is a veteran call. Going the same path as your first.
Yeah. You don't get any extra points for drawing the button here.
We're seeing some more almost.
Line's good. To it. Got a little more room. To it.
Does have some backing. Final stone here in 3. Kayla Skrlik.
Line's good. Line's to it on its own.
This team out of Calgary trying to tie things up.
We're nice tee, actually. 4-3. It's really curling. We can't be past the tee. We're just can't be past the tee. We're just tee.
And that did move a lot, but the weight is good enough for 3 on the board. Got a good one here for our viewers in Charlottetown, nearly 6:30. And buckle in, because we got a good one here at the Scotties.
The Brier is special.
Just tradition. A celebration of Canadian curling.
Get loud, here we go.
It's everything.
Brier is epic.
Newfoundland wins.
Man, you just get goosebumps watching that, and look at Matt Dunstone in the house, and he will skip Manitoba at the Brier. That's coming up next for us in London, Ontario. And what can you say, Russ, about this field coming up?
It's crazy. Just look at the top 4 on both sides there. And then Reed Crothers has been unbelievable this year with a 3-person team for a while. Kelly Knapp won 5 Bonspiels. It just goes on and on. Sturmey's had a great year. And McEwen out of Ontario? What's that all about? Yeah. Howard out of Manitoba? Like who knows? Yeah. Good field.
It's going to be great. Ryan Fry is here. He'll be part of that Ontario team.
And that Gauthier guy.
Yeah, Jacques Gauthier. And hey, have a beer. And that's a familiar face. I remember this guy, Ryan Giddens. Remember 2016 Brier? So Adam Casey was the skip that year. And Ryan just came. He was supposed to, be an alternate, whatever. And a couple games got out of hand. So the beer leaguer, Ryan Giddens, he got to play 2 games. He played against your brother, Glenn Howard.
That's right.
And Brad Gushu. There you go. Cheers, pal. Welcome back. And there is Glenn, who we played against. Yeah, really, really cool, the stories. And I mean, you could speak to this, Russ, having won it, a competitor for a long time. When you watch that Brier video, what did that do to you? Like that, the feelings you get?
That's an unbelievable piece the guys put together, and it's just goosebumps. It just is. And you relive. Even me, I can remember my Brier wins and losses, and more losses than wins. But there's something about the tradition of a Brier. Back when I won, it was harder to win the world, and it's just so special.
Yeah, and that black and white TV back then,
Yeah,
too,
so
and
yeah,
how we've come a
that's
long
right.
way with... Oh, Russ, I'm sorry, man. You're just too easy of a target.
I know.
I love you. It's a lot of fun. All right, 3-3 tie in our feature, Alberta PEI, and that's a nice battle back, and Joe, you can speak to this. In games like this, you got to be patient. Kayla Skrlik, maybe frustrated early. They score 2 with hammer, you have 1 stolen, but you battle back and you score your 3 and you're right back in it.
Yeah, and this is why we talk about seeing these big scores with this PEI team, is because they play that kind of game. If Suzanne locks that freeze on, it's a force. But you have the miss, and then you give up the big end, and here we go.
Fun for us. I mean, I enjoy it, you know, the swings of the game, and you're never out of it. Little tap there from Michelle Shea.
You're gonna have to roll sort of big. Okay.
Could flop under.
Can't you roll under? I've got lots of air. You can, but we don't need
Whichever
to.
you like.
Whichever.
Don't want to jam on the back.
Well, that young lady, we mentioned the 3 for Alberta. And Brittany Tran with a key shot.
That's the big assist. The Skip gets all the glory for drawing for 3, but this is what set it up. Just and right down the center that's been crazy tricky all week. Is it going to grab the line and go? Held it just long enough to get them all. Got all 4 moving. But the key was where she rolled, set up the 3.
The key shot brought to you by OK Tire. Service, repair, tires.
Nice shot.
Good call.
Avoids the jam. And Alberta lying 2 without hammer here in 4.
Okay.
Good throw.
Thanks.
11. Yeah.
It's tricky where those 2 corner guards are. Like if you're trying to draw the button at the end of the end, I'm not sure you can get there with either turn.
Yeah, the high one is in the way, and then the shooter rolled on the run back, and it's a bit of a problem for PEI.
Marie Christensen, nice little roll behind the corner.
Yeah, wait, good.
Shot in the back.
Yeah, wait.
10.
Do you like this turn? Yeah. Okay.
I think so. Okay. I think that's going to be really wide.
Yeah.
Simpler on the wide turn, but nobody's been out that far, and there's a dusting of frost out here with all the moisture we've had this week. This is probably an easier guess.
Update time, Kathy, as we check in on Team Canada and Team Saskatchewan Silvernagle.
Well, she has a draw for 3, she being Carrie Anderson, but an opportunity on Robin Silvernagle's first. She was tapping to lie 2. One of them would have been buried, but wound up hitting the guard. So not only was she not lying 2, but she opened it up for Carrie Anderson, who removed it very quickly. And with the second shot not being made, full 12 is all she needs for 3 and a 6-point lead.
Well, she may be trying to rest her sweepers here, as this thing is coasting, and it will stop in time. It's a long week. Why not rest the front end a little bit? So there you go. That's a veteran play. 7-1, Carrie Anderson leading.
When you guys went down, I was like, oh no. It was like, that's too hot.
Brian felt the same way, apparently, Carrie.
No, that was a veteran play by the Skip. Rest the sweepers. Yeah. Long week coming up. We're up by 6. It's all good.
Nice come around by Alberta. Maybe not quite as deep as they wanted it, but these are tough. Grabs the line early, they'll never hold it.
Yeah, that yellow guard, though, is coming up fast here, Russ. And she's all over it.
Okay, that's good.
I sometimes think, Brian, when we commentate, that the people at home are like, oh, you're just covering for mistakes. Or that it's tricky on the center line. You back it up a little bit, a little extra weight, it won't get to the center where the break point is. You do the opposite like that one, it's gone, you can't hold it.
You talk about tolerance all the time on those shots. That was a chase, and Sure, you need to throw it aggressive when you're coming off the center line in this particular venue, but if you happen to throw it too straight and blow by everything, that doesn't help your team at all. Wreck on the guard, these 2 reds are open. You do have third shot at the top of the house, so if Alberta doesn't make this perfect, you might have something to work with.
Even with the other one.
And now they have the button a little bit closer to being available.
No, like top 8, top 4.
Yeah, missed. That was a pro miss.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You got it, Kelsey.
Well, Kathy, Haley Burney had a heck of a day yesterday at the White House Curling Club. How's she faring today?
Not as well, but close. She's missed 2 draws and given up 2 steals by being about 6 inches too heavy or too light, and now trying to make the triple. There's a change in the Jones lineup again. It is not the leads rotating, but it is both of them in. Mackenzie Zacharias on the bench this afternoon.
Is that the first time we've seen that in the rotation, Kathy,
Yes.
from this team? Yeah.
Yes, and Glenn did say to us that mostly it's going to be the leads going back and forth, the pair, but he said we may choose a game to take Mackenzie out and put them both in together, and clearly this is that game.
All right, so Haley Burney trying to remove some yellow granite here, gets the 1, and that looks to be a steal of 2.
2 yellow? 2 yellow, yeah.
So 6 on the board for Jennifer Jones as she looks for back-to-back wins, and not her sharpest game against Carrie Galusha, allowing Northwest Territories to creep back in, but doesn't matter. You get the W's, that all that counts here.
And it's one of the challenges of the Scotties. You have to let go of that last game and start the new game fresh, and these players don't have a lot of time in between their draws. When they play back-to-back, that can be a big thing to get over. Alberta slipped deep on their come around, so leaving Birt a chance to make another freeze and put the pressure on.
Top 4, take a look. Take a look. Might need some curl, it's running. Wait, what's up?
Yeah, we're back.
Michelle, Michelle, we get not touch this. Turn, Michelle.
We need to catch it.
You gotta go. Go, right to this.
By the red. Just chisels that red. It is shot stone for now.
Pretty good, though. It's at least half buried.
I agree. What do you want to throw at
The
it?
swoops in there so nice if you can pick the right speed.
Hit and roll. Once we get it,
It's gonna, yeah, once you're on it.
back line.
Yeah, back line's fine. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Is that minimum?
Yeah.
Do you like a hair
Back
more?
line, like it. Carve it past the yellow.
Well, it doesn't matter what the sport. You always strive at the top level for that consistency, Joe.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, for Kayla Skrlik, she started off a little bit slow. She's getting more comfortable. It's her first Scotties, and she's going in the right direction with her numbers coming up. Suzanne Birt, on the other hand, she is trending down in the last 3 games. Started the week off strong in the style of play that they play. She has to be firing for this team to have a chance. I have to wonder if sweeping these rocks is affecting her play. For the first time, she has to be a bit of a front-end player, too.
And you don't see them coming at you. How do you get a good line?
And that game for Birt at 45%. Remember, Carrie Anderson was 100% in that game. There's the chisel, yellow, spinning a little bit more. And Alberta lying 1 and 2.
The key's that second one, otherwise it would be hit for 2, but that's pretty nice. Tough to remove it.
Your release looks different than I've seen.
It's pulling, and then I just like sent it.
Okay.
Heavy. But
Is there? There's no double there, is there?
That's fair.
No,
It
I think
really
the
odd.
guard's in the way.
Okay.
I guess you could do it with the out turn, just chisel off. So dangerous, though. You know, you tick the yellow guard coming in. It might be there, Brian.
Well,
the
ton
out
of
turn.
game. I guess, can you play it to cue it on that side, or you just want to make the shot, play the call?
With this turn, they're conceding just to get the
Correct.
single.
But you could.
I think, yeah.
Well, I
think
guess
you-
she's the lefty. It'd be the other turn.
Yeah.
But so this, her out turn, final stone, Suzanne Birt in 4 and a 3-3 tie. And once it hits that line, look out as now they try to hold it. Got to go to get it by that red. Needed to maybe kiss that and get lucky. They will not, and that is a steal of 2. So what a turnaround. After having a 3-0 lead, it's Alberta on top, 5-3.
Yeah, I think so.
Welcome back to our coverage. Scotties Tournament of Hearts. First time the city of Kamloops has hosted the Canadian Women's Curling Championship. And a great start for PEI, and then Alberta answering with the 3 and then the steal of 2. And after a lot of draws thus far, the hit game finally on here for Ashton Skrlik as play into the rings. And we know it's the debut for the sisters, Ashton and Kayla. And Joe, I'd like you to reminisce a little bit. What is it like your first time? You're at a Scotties. Just take me through the emotions and the feelings your first time at the big show.
There's so many different things that are going through your head. I mean, it's a dream come true to get to a Scotties. And you want to make sure that you enjoy it regardless of the outcome. I mean, it sucks to be struggling and, you know, you may or may not make the next round, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you enjoyed it because you crawl into this event, the rest of your life falls away. And I always said after Scotties was done, it's like, back to the real world. It's just this wonderful 10 days of being immersed in your sport at the highest level and feeling like all your hard work paid off. So
I think I heard one of your comments too. It was like, I think whether it was your sweeper and you're in the hack and you look up and there's this big jumbotron, you're like, oh hey, that's me.
Yeah, and it's unsettling. Like you're trying to focus and trying to make your shots, and that confidence piece can waver. I mean, but when you make a big shot, like we saw Brittany Tran make that momentum swinging shot in the third and the big hit, and then you see it up on the jumbotron, you're like, yeah, I did that. So it can work both ways. When you're struggling, you kind of want to crawl into a hole.
Yeah.
But when you're playing good, it just bolsters all that enthusiasm and all your confidence.
Back 8, back 12. Whoa, back 12. Whoa. Ashton. Back 12. Whoa.
Little tap from Jerry-Lynn Ramsey. So they've certainly staggered those. Top 12, back 12.
Perfect line. Yeah. Like that. Or you can hit and roll there. Whatever you like. I don't mind the draw.
Update time as we head over to Sheet B, New Brunswick,
Nice
Andrea
speed
Kelly,
here,
and Wild Card 3, Megan Walter.
Well, those 2 Yellowstones that you see were what Andrea Kelly faced on her first, and she elected to go around a center guard. She buried the stone, and then Megan tried to run it back and pick it off, and they just let it go. Just missed on the outside, and so that allows Andrea the opportunity to draw for 2, looking for 8 foot.
Chatted briefly with Andrea before her morning game and said, like a lot of the players, ice a little tricky, draw weight a little tricky, but I think she is figuring it out now. Beautiful draw weight. There it is, back 4, 2 on the board. And I know it's early to say must win, but you know, 2 and 2, you don't want to drop to that third loss. So a good battle over there. Thank you, Kathy.
Yes, it is.
Sorry, in the case of Andrea too, she's got Jones and Holman coming up.
And even beyond that, there's still so much curling to come. And if you lose that third game, you are in a must-win situation. And can a team survive 6 or 7 must-win games in a championship? That's so hard to do.
Plan B here.
Brittany. Okay. Good, Jared. Terrible. Sorry.
I love the honesty with the microphones though, right? As Joe said, there's nowhere to hide.
And that's part of it too. You're very aware of it when you first start wearing that mic, that people can hear everything, single thing you say. A broadcast for curling is very personal. People feel like they know you, but you're only going to be able to perform if you can speak freely and try to get as much as you can out of everyone. So you have to let go of that piece of, oh, people might judge me if I say something silly or if I look like I'm too mad. You have to disconnect from that when you're playing on this stage and just play your game.
Joe, I've been saying silly things on the microphone for over 20 years, and somehow I'm still here. Shocking.
That's good.
A good play there.
Good, Michelle. Play this run. Okay, hit it low.
Yeah, if the score was still tied, you might see a freeze here.
What turn do you like? I was thinking the out. Yep.
Kayla, Skrlik, and Team Alberta, they've been in control of some games and have let teams get back in. So this might be a bit of a pivot. With Shannon Clybrink as their coach, Crystal Webster as their alternate, I'm sure they debrief their games from earlier in the week.
What a great support staff there.
Ashton hard. Get the roll.
Well, you talk about
That's great.
Shannon Clybrink. You went to the Olympics with her, did
That's
you
right.
not?
That's
And
right.
She won the bronze. You won
Yeah.
the gold that year. What a great experience.
Oh, unbelievable. What a team. They're just, you know, you're in Italy and you've got this small crew, and it was just like family. And she's a very, very smart skip and played so well at a high level for a long, long time. And that's a great team there.
And something about Shannon Clybrink, I watched her so much growing up in Alberta and played against her a little bit near the end of her career. It's how much she loves the game of curling. You'd play against her, and if you made a good shot, she'd tell you a good shot, and she meant it. And to be around that, to have that as your leader on your team, especially as a team that's new to the Scotties, that it's like a nice security blanket around the team, just to turn everything into the good experience, the positive part, the part remembering that you love curling, even when it's tough out there.
Yeah, we're just tight.
This is heading towards those Reds.
Keep going. You can get there. Go, 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 go. Yep. Go, go. Okay. Sweet. I think nose is pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Burn. Normal, I'm assuming she means. Sorry, normal or control?
Setting up pretty nicely here for Alberta to force here in 5.
Yeah, the light draw is not ideal for Team PEI, but there are a whole pile of rocks on the right-hand side of the screen that is available for PEI to hide behind and create an opportunity for a multiple. You'll likely see them ignore this if this nose hit is made.
That being said then, Joe, do you want to roll this somewhere? Like, where's a good spot for this?
Problem is, if you're rolling, you're going behind the tee line anyways. You might even see PEI take on the hit and roll. I think the nose hit would be where I would go.
Okay.
Yeah, because the come around's much easier, especially with them staggered like that, than to make the hit and roll. So staying right there's pretty good. At least your shot after this one lands.
Yeah, and you'll see this come around, but there may be an opportunity to sit and freeze on it and sit second shot over there.
Yeah.
But to your point, Joe, that stagger is hurting Alberta, those 2 Reds, right? So there is that maybe opportunity here.
Marie's second look at this spot.
Tight, top 12. Yep. It's a bit more, no? I had a bit of bigger ab. Okay. Stay close. Okay, we're top 8. Michelle, yes, top 8. Top 4. Hard, really curling. Go, go, go. You got it. Hard. Hard, never off.
Trying to brush it through. So where Michelle Shea was, that was your sweet spot? That's where you like to be by the rock?
Yeah, right in behind and just all the pressure. You take all the credit for getting the rock there. Unfortunately, that they had to go for line the whole way down the sheet. If they didn't have to sweep it for line, it would have been top 8, maybe biting top 4.
Cross. We can take more. We can take more.
Yeah. Yep.
You do get the sense this could be one of those 11-10 games, though, the way it's tracking,
Yes,
right?
Yeah, how true.
Well, Kathy, Robin Silvernagel in tough against the 3-time defending champs here.
She is, but she has an opportunity. It is that yellow stone at the back of the hearts. That is shot stone.
Yeah.
Carrie wrecked on the guard on her final stone. So she's trying to make a play at the red beside the broom with enough weight that it might spin across the top of the yellow. The yellow jams on red. Maybe there's a deuce, maybe 3.
That's all that has to happen?
Yes. And look at the rotation that she's thrown. A lot of tops to try to get the spin.
Let's see what happens. Robin Silvernagel. And just chips her own yellow out. So it looks like the single.
1. Yeah.
That's it.
So 7-2. Anderson leads.
Not like me to be so tight on my out turns.
Just have to move it a foot. Yep. Because
It's extremely weight sensitive.
I think too it might be pretty good.
I think sometimes we get fooled on, we blame the release, which a lot of times it is the release, but you know, skipper asks for 10, you throw 10.5, ticks the guard, you blame it on the release. It's tricky.
And for Robin and company, they threw this team together last minute. They had one practice before provincials. She hasn't been practicing all year. They got themselves ready for this event, but sometimes the technical excellence isn't ingrained like the other curlers that have been at it for 6 months now.
January 4th was their first game as a team.
Wow.
Talented bunch.
Okay.
So I don't want to throw too much more than that, but
No, I think as long as you're positive.
2 it is okay.
Nice little freeze there.
Here, it'll care. Like Marie's were kind of losing their hand.
Okay.
Suzanne's out turn should run a bit straighter than Marie's in turn. They'd love to sit first and third after this. Bump that red rock back about a foot.
You're light. Yes, early. Here. Gotta go for weight. Just do it. Just do it. Keep going. All you got. Keep going. All you got. Line's good. You really gotta go.
Well, they're giving all they got to try and get it by that red stone, little wick. And still shot stone, Team Alberta without hammer here in 5. I think PEI is 2.
Yeah, like the double's not there anymore.
Yeah. Middle.
Middle, center line, tight. Couple of times now.
Okay,
So
this is just as nice as one.
Guard makes sense here because, yes, there is a double this way, but that red is going absolutely nowhere because of that yellow right there.
Where's there? Halfway
We
down.
just want to be splitting center.
Yeah,
If
I
there's
like that.
any way you could get that left red out of there.
Speed will be the same in this path. You got it. We're halfway. Okay. Wait for the line. Wait's good. Line's good. Where? Half.
We're just halfway.
Halfway? Half. Okay,
Pull.
easy.
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 It can't cross center.
Sit.
Sit.
Did you find Joe talking to the rocks would help? Did it ever work?
Sometimes.
Yeah, okay.
Good, yeah.
Coincidence, maybe?
I wanted to hit it. I know, I told you to. I know, I was hitting it and then they called me off. It's just
This is
like
a
lightning.
must-make draw here for Suzanne Birt.
Yeah, because it's lightning, and I slid out, and I was like, "Holy cow! My slide might stop before I let go of the rock."
Well, they're enjoying the moment, right? And that's one of the key things out here. You hear that all the time. Have fun with it.
And you hear what she's saying too,
The
how
T-line.
quick it is underfoot. You mentioned it yesterday. It's just that it's like the hog line was painted 4 feet closer than it should be.
So trying to stop the bleeding a little bit here. 5 straight points for Alberta. Final stone, 5th end.
Just gonna keep it out there.
Keep it out there, Michelle. Wait's really close. Keep going. Line's tight. Line. Just the line. Gotta go.
And again, got to go for line and try drag it in. And this is over curling. And it's a steal of 1 for sure. I don't know who's second shot, guys. So
That's
definitely
pretty close.
1.
I think it's 2 actually.
We can measure.
I think it's 2. So yeah, throw the stick on it. 1 for sure.
Yep.
So well, Alberta
Where are your bricks?
back-to-back steals, and we'll find out if it's just 1 or 2 here in this 5th end. And it's 2. Wow. So no measure needed. Momentum. Certainly in Alberta's favor now. 7 straight points. They lead by 4.
The 2023 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is presented by Scotties Facial Tissue. Unleash the Scotties. By New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada. By Home Hardware. Here's how. and by PointsBet Canada, the official sportsbook of Curling Canada.
There's the coach, Danny Christensen, trying to settle his team down after a great start. Back-to-back steals of 2 in Alberta, a 7-3 advantage. Joe, as we check the numbers after 5.
Yeah, Brian, it looked like in the second end, Suzanne Birt was rounding into typical form, made a big freeze to save the end and get a steal, but since then, she has been struggling, and Team Skrlik has been all gas.
After 5, brought to you by PointsBet Canada, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada. Great job by Alberta thus far. As we step aside from Kamloops.
They're just going to come up for us right at the beginning, and it's totally normal. We're going to try to fight back. We have to keep it close till the end and try to actually put pressure in the last few ends.
It's huge to have experience. We do say you don't need to have experience to win, but having played in a few Scotties ourselves, it's something that we can try and lean on if we are in some tough pressure situations.
And that is the matchup later on tonight. Draw 12, Pool 8 is Leroy St. George out of Quebec, a 2-2 record. Caitlin Maas, wild card, T1, a 3-1 record. Tonight, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, as Vic, Russ, Joe, Kathy have you covered right here on TSN as our Scotties coverage continues. So back to play in our feature, and the scoreboard definitely tells the story. 7-3 Alberta leads, PEI with hammer here in 6. And Russ, how do you rebound? You're the coach. What are you telling this Suzanne Birt team through 5?
Well, you try to come up with something inspirational, but the first thing I'd say is start taking more ice. Everything's narrow, and I haven't been down in that area for a while, but I curled there for 20 years, and most of the surfaces are dead straight, so maybe it's changed lately, but I really think and Joanna and I were talking about a little bit soft releases once in a while, which you have to do on a straight surface. So if you play most of your career on straighter ice, you're going to be burnt here, and every miss that I've seen has been narrow.
Well, for me, playing against them over the years, the hard part about playing against them was that they would actually take a different flight plan than my old team because we threw the rock quite straight. So for a come around, they're taking an extra 6 to 12 inches of ice sometimes. So it's hard to actually get a read on what the ice is doing if you're trying to follow them. I don't know that they're moving the broom around as much as they should.
Absolutely, and it's the old story, isn't it? Doctor, it hurts when I do this, and I really think just giving them that little extra ice will make a big difference. Like even the one they made there, they had to brush it so hard to get it by. It was behind the tee line that allowed Alberta to freeze.
Coach Kathy, let's bring you in. What have you noticed in our feature here through 5?
Well, very similar sorts of things. I played Suzanne a lot as well, and it is that soft release that can really work for you. Like if the ice the first 2 days where it was a little bit straighter and out in the wings, they're going to put rocks in spots that you can't get to. But the ice has changed. It's improved. It curls a lot, and the release has really made a difference.
And just for the beginning curler, its rotation makes a big difference on sandpapered rocks, these textured rocks. You can see good rotation on that one, but probably 6 rotations compared to 2. There's a big speed difference, and there's a big line difference. Probably a foot of curl and maybe 4 or 5 feet of speed. And when you watch a team throw big rotation and you put the broom down, you've got to change the broom position.
Hard.
All the way here for Jerry Lynn Ramsey.
Good shot.
Roll it.
And it makes that yellow go away, and you see Alberta, a couple in the house.
Tight. I also
didn't
give.
Counting 2 in the house, top 4 in the 12.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah, make sure you're positive here.
Hey, we're back. 4.
Back 8. Stay close. Do you need this?
No.
No?
It's
No.
back 8.
Okay. Good.
And that'll hang out for Michelle Shea, who's formerly Michelle McQuaid.
Try to play this.
And her brother Adam, great success in the NHL. Played for Boston, New York, Columbus, and won the Cup with the Boston Bruins back in 2011.
It's good? Yeah. Okay.
Whoa! Run.
Brittany! Good. Oh, man. Soft, yeah. Do you like here now?
Yeah, I like that.
That works. Oh, God. I don't hate that.
A lot more fun after the 2 wins, isn't it?
Yeah, the thing is, Russ, though, there's still 5 ends to play here. 5 rock rule, no tick rule. But the focus piece is going to be very important for Team Alberta. You can see that they've opted for more defense than we've seen in previous games. And that execution is so important in the back half. You give up a 2 here, which could easily happen. You're okay to concede that, but then next end, you cannot afford to give up a steal. All of a sudden, this game is in striking distance for PEI.
And you can bet that Shannon Clydebrink would have given them a dose of that reality in their break as well, right? All right, Kathy Gauthier, back to the updates here on Sheet B. It's New Brunswick and Wildcard 3.
Well, Megan Walter tried a big weight double and just ticked one over, and that created a little bit of a smiley face at the back of the forefoot, and Andrea Kelly came down and blocked the path, and that forces Megan out into the wings a little bit, needs to get to the hearts for the single.
Megan Walter, Kathy, 96% on her draws in this contest.
Keep it going. Hard. No. You got to be on it.
There's that little pocket you talked about,
Meg.
right to the hearts. Little tap, and that's nice draw weight. So she's slowly gaining some confidence as this week progresses. She's got herself a 1-point lead after 5.
It's crazy. It's when you play these teams, isn't it? You know, some teams just get better and better and better, and some go the other direction. And I think the ice is a big factor at the start of the week. It was just plain tricky, and it fooled some of the teams with a little bit less experience.
Yeah.
Well, and you don't make a Manitoba final by accident. I mean, these young ladies have a ton of talent and a lot to deal with coming to the Scotties and getting acclimatized, so good for them. And back to you, Kathy, for Anderson Silvernagle. Update on Sheet A.
Well, the yellow stone that you see was Robin's last stone, was trying to corner freeze and be shot on her final. You can see that it is second shot, but Carey's ignoring it and just going to draw for the 2.
No, it's all there.
Needs full 8, maybe a bite of the 4.
Kathy, you just seeing Eye of the Tiger on this Team Canada right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're a well-oiled machine, and people should be afraid.
Well, they're all very lovely. I mean,
No, they're not mean. They're just very good at what they do.
Correct. There you go. So, yeah, just cruising Carey Anderson.
Definitely not this one.
And will likely improve to 6-0 over in Sheet A.
Good sweep. Good sweep, Asher. Great. That was 9-7. Perfect weight.
So Brittany Tran will hit stick around.
Yeah.
Okay. You like the freeze again?
Or to the back one, I was thinking, but
Cheer.
normal.
Joanne, we just saw Team Anderson. What does that zone feel like when you're on a roll like that? Describe to us what goes through your mind.
Things start to feel easier. Like they're making a ton of shots, and that just builds confidence. And the more that you feel like you know what to expect out there, you're seeing the trends, you're framing the shot, the better you know you're going to get by the end of the week. And sure, you're going to have the odd miss sweep, the missed line call, but having all of those made shots in your bank, in your memory bank, you stay on the this is great side of things, you know, we're moving in the right direction side of things versus going into the we're struggling, we're fighting for this kind of mindset.
And it's interesting, the lowest person on that team right now is Carrie Anderson at 88%.
It's there. If we do that, it probably makes it easier, doesn't it? So, okay.
We have to make a double at some point.
So you want me to nose with control?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's important that Team Alberta stuck around for second shot there.
Nice here on this intern.
Yes, no question.
Otherwise, you'd probably see a freeze of some sort by PEI, but they have to deal with this.
A little more, Suzanne.
A 2 here keeps the game in striking distance, but if they happen to get forced, it's a lot of work to do in the last 4 ends, so I like this call.
If we roll, it's actually probably easier, so we're just going to nose, so it's a steep double.
Yeah. Lots of ice here, Russ.
Yeah, it really is, and I think it speaks to the releases again.
Control.
Suzanne, remember, she ticked here to give up the steal of 2.
Yeah. Hard for nose. You got it. Whoa.
Marie Christensen, the Halifax native. 1, 2.
Good.
Very nice.
Good. Good. It's good. Throw, Marie. Good. Sorry, I had to come down and talk because they were like, should we roll? Should we do this? There's a double. And I was just like, I just need to come down for a second. Yeah.
Too much.
I was like, I'm just going to go talk to Suzanne and decide on a shot.
What way? Heel.
Kayla's going to take a shot at this double.
Yeah, follow the shooter. Yeah.
If anything, she'll hit this thick and roll over to the right-hand side of the screen.
Is this her forte, Joe? Is this one of her weapons?
I've seen her make a ton of accurate
Yeah.
heels. Yes.
Whoa. Yes.
Kayla Skrlik. Her first here in 6. Hit it, roll it, catch it. Oh, you bet. What a weapon. Not quite out, but a lovely shot.
Really close, Kels.
Beautiful shot.
I thought it was thinner. It was thinner than that.
Yeah, because we hit thinner than half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, though. You come in as a rookie skip. How about Suzanne Birt? 10-3 back in 2003 in Kitchener-Waterloo, winning that bronze medal. And now this lady and her team.
Not today.
Just 25 years of age. And the future is bright for this young skip out of Alberta.
Oh, it's unbelievable. You know, undefeated at the provincials. Just a couple hiccups here, but against great teams. And now they're on a roll, and there's somebody's going to have to play well to beat them.
Yeah, for me, it's her demeanor. She's never too high and never too low.
Yeah.
Frustrating couple of games to start the week. They got away on them. Never saw her banging her broom around or getting really chippy. Just very even-keeled.
Right on the nose. Just normal.
Okay.
So Suzanne Birt making a play on those red stones out in the 12. And on the nose, nice little roll. It is shot stone, though. Still Alberta, I think.
No, well, sorry, Judge.
Was that wrong, or
I wasn't disagreeing with that. It was where this red one's going to be sent.
I got to start to decipher the Howard groans. All right, Kathy Gochi, over to you.
Well, it is 2 and a potential 3 for Haley Burney. Made a lovely come around on her first lies 2. And then Jennifer tried a very short run back and was not able to make it. Went between the stones and the 4-foot. But for Haley, does need 4-foot.
She does have 3 3-enders over her last 3 games. Haley Burney has to curl, has to stop, and that is not to be. So 2 red, and she's on the board.
So many rocks in play over there. Kathy,
you
with
know
an
what?
8-point lead, are they trying to defend it all, or is it
And you know what, Joe? I've had that same exact thought. Jennifer just likes to play and play
felt
hard,
good. They called it a
but that
7.
can also get in your way. And are you going to play that way if you're up in another game?
It almost cost her this morning.
Yep.
Similar to what you've been throwing on. It's been thrown on a couple of times, and they threw it this end too. So.
And then just top 8, like,
okay.
Honestly, biting the 8-foot's pretty perfect.
Is it okay if we're deeper, like back 4?
No, that's the only place it can't be.
Okay. You got it, top 8.
All right, Russ, so who is Shot Stone?
Red is, but the groan was for, I thought they might throw a bullet here, hit it dead on, make the two yellows go away the way it was lined up. But they can play the easier the 2 shots here and sit 2.
I've heard you groan before. It's usually when the bill comes, so
That's right.
it's hard to. But it's your birthday week. Your birthday week, so we're going to be nice to you.
Could be a month.
Well,
very nice shot.
At least it is February. It's the shortest month, so that's okay.
That's a nice shot for Kayla Skrlik. She's been actually heavy on her draws this game. Like if she's making them, she's there on her own, or she's missing a little bit heavy. She'll be really happy with that to get a good reference point. What sweeping weight is. You always want to involve your sweepers on those draws. Open up that margin for error. So Team PEI is now forced.
Luckily, you noticed that was shot there. We were just zooming by looking for the.
Everybody.
So trying to improve on those numbers. Final stone here in 6. Suzanne Birt needs full 8 for her single.
Nice. Up 4. Hey, line's good.
Line's really
Top
good.
8. Can't hurt it. Looks like you gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
And now all hands on deck to try drag and make sure they get the single. Has to be full 8 here. Need a little bit more and just enough. Yeah, great sweep indeed to get the 1. And to stop the bleeding a little bit, as Alberta had 7 consecutive points, and now it is 7-4. Skrlik leads. Such a beautiful city. Kamloops have to get back here for summertime. A little bit of winery, some golf, some hiking, water sports, so many fun things to do in this area. As we're here for the Scotties, it's been a great visit thus far. And with more on the action here at the Scotties, let's check in again with Kathy Gauthier.
Well, the Anderson team is a well-oiled machine. We are seeing that, and no criticism of Silvernagle. They started in January. 7 weeks is not enough. This team is far better than they're showing. They just haven't had the reps. Andrea Kelly it is a tie game now, but for her, it is ice reading. She is being out-curled by 10%. Her third is being out-curled by 20%, but she knows where the broom goes, and that's making the difference. On our feature sheet, they're riding the wave. That team, the momentum for Alberta and PEI. We've talked about opening up the broom to make more shots. Haley Burney is looking at a sea of yellow every time she sits in the hack today. And Jennifer Jones is working on precision, but some of that means leaving too many rocks around. You let your team and your opponents back in.
Kathy, thank you. 7-4 in our feature. And really the turning point, those steals in 4 and 5 of 2. To lead by 3, and it is Alberta with Hammer here in 7 playing the Red Rocks, and you see 2 up front right now. Top 8.
I got 5. Whatever way you're seeing.
So you think the other side?
Okay, yeah, like that. Think so. Gotta make sure you're by this, guys. So I'll give you some extra ice.
Okay, so like back tee?
Yeah.
Time to take some chances here now. Got those staggered a little bit. 2 good guards. Get one in behind here in front of the tee line would be incredible.
Close.
Yep.
Haven't played this side as much, but it seems the speed's very nice.
Line's good. Line's good. A bit of room still. Stay close.
PEI's been getting a ton of curl at the end. They could get buried around a rock top 8 here.
Really hard. It's really going. Finish it. Go, go, go. All the way back. Go, go, go.
Line was pretty good, and
Okay. Good throw, Michelle.
it'll just settle though, exposed. Top 4.
Nice,
Gotcha.
nice call here with the score the way it is. You don't want to give up a steal. The way you're going to give up a steal is to ignore those two yellow ones out front. Worry about that one that was just thrown later.
Yo, close. Ashton. Clean, clean, clean. Just the one. Yeah. That's good. Okay, that was good, Jer. Good throw. You guys like here now. Good, Jerry.
You ever like freeze on that top 8 one?
Wanna come chat here?
Or like good there.
That's lined
Move
up
this
onto
around
this.
there?
What? I'm wondering if we
Smooth
move some
them a
stuff
bit?
here. What about even that, moving that back to here?
Or around everything.
We can still do that. I'm thinking, because this is a guard for us right now, so I'm deciding if I want to move it at base Gus, but, or if we should move it, because we could always just.
So if we come to there.
Yep.
And we don't move it.
Yep.
She clears the front.
Yeah.
Then what? Just keep guarding.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, do we ever? Yeah, I'm okay. It's just like that's always going into this right now, so I'm wondering if we have to shift
Which
it around
is
a little bit.
fine.
I'm thinking, do you guys like moving it a bit?
Yeah.
Alberta's got both shots to kill that yellow. I think maybe another guard, keep them busy a little longer.
Yeah, it's only second rock. I would want to delay the play in the house a bit if I'm PEI.
Just a freeze? Just a freeze? You want to come to it?
Yeah. I just don't know what the call is.
Okay.
Okay. Copy.
Okay.
You got it.
Felt like lots.
Gave you some.
Mine's good. This is just.
We got a lot of line.
No, if line will get there. If the weight's good. No
Tapping
bump,
a little.
No bump on. And just want to keep it on there. Okay. Okay,
That's good. Nice throw.
Thanks. Peel. Yeah. I don't even think we tried this actually. Just straight peel. Straight peel.
You got Jer. You got it.
Patient call. I like the call, but
I'd be tempted to remove these yellows
Yes.
from play. You notice the yellow on the right-hand side of your screen.
Yeah.
They're both gone.
sit 3.
3 in the house. This might be from getting a little spooked, letting other teams back in games early in the week.
Oh, damn it. Really close, Jerry.
Sorry. I decided to try it at the
I
last
know.
second.
I was like, you're like, no, let's not try it.
Halfway or tight?
Where did she was so close. That was we hit 3/4. It's like thick 3/4.
Deciding at the end to try to just chisel that yellow PEI rock out of the way.
I was pretty positive.
PEI's still in trouble here.
Line's good.
Yeah, they almost had it, didn't they?
Almost in. It's running good.
They'd like to straight guard the yellow at the top of the
Coming
rings.
down, but
It's top 12.
whoa. Okay.
Okay.
An incredible roster of athletes offer their insight and testimony into the role of black players in hockey. Black Ice, the acclaimed original documentary, is now streaming on Crave.
It has to be a solid peel.
Yeah. What did she say?
A solid peel, like 7. You got it.
I think if you throw this hard enough, it sounds like they're going to. You could get every one of those yellows.
Well, it was one of her key shots earlier. Courtesy Brittany Tran, as she'll wind it up again here in 7.
Whoa!
Bangs the yellows. They're all moving, and 2 gone. And she certainly
Good shot.
rearranges the situation.
Very nice.
Oh, thanks, Jer.
That would have been
You did the top one
just off the red.
thin, which took away some power. If you hit it just a little thicker, you'd get that back yellow, but you might not get the top yellow. Good shot, and it kind of left a nice angle there too.
Do we need a guard still?
I don't hate this. Hope she jams and then we can guard ours.
That was the problem with playing in the house so early in the end. It allowed Alberta the opportunity to play some clearing shots. I mean, the guard was missed on the last shot, which allowed for this one to be left. But when you bring the play into the ring so early in the end, it makes it really hard to steal.
Yes.
And this is almost a must-steal situation for PEI.
No question, and the rocks are so good. You can throw them so hard. Now 7 seconds there from Brittany. You can clean up a lot. Big trouble here now.
Halfway.
You could go with a
Thought it was close.
tighter guard here, and then it's tough to remove it with if you hit it a little on the right, a little on the left, you hit a red one.
Or maybe even bite the 12-foot.
Right. Yeah.
Something you could come around, but that would be difficult to remove.
Yeah, the right depth.
There's good. There's good. There's good. That's good. Good.
So the guard up there from PEI.
If what we were saying there, Brian, if you get it something like that, then it's very tough to remove without jamming. Now it's really easy to remove.
Okay.
Brittany Trent.
Oh, wow, that's jumping off great.
And automatic, away it goes.
Good. It was just missed the... Oh, she can't.
I like the freeze now.
Like, I think we have to play this. A lot of extra time here.
What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, I think so.
You're always thinking freeze in the situations, but you might be able to nose that. If they nose it, then you make a double, sit 3. Cross your fingers. The freezes are just so tough here, especially when the rock's in front of the tee line.
Just the same guard as Marie just threw.
Oh, they're going to go guard.
Okay.
Yeah, they guard. Team Alberta will peel. They can nose hit the red rock in the top 4 and have her looking at 2 on her last.
Just a hair less there.
The out turn for Suzanne Birt.
Mine's good. Lighter than yours. Hey, go then. Hey, the girl. Carrying.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Mine's carrying.
Okay, tight.
Stay close. Yep.
That's good. Whoa.
So this one, to your guys' point, a little bit tighter.
Just, yeah, it's still fairly easy to remove because of the line. If it was close to the center line, then it's really, you almost have to run it through the middle, which would be dangerous.
Oh my God. Yeah.
This is an interesting call, too, because you want to peel because of the score, but I think this is the right play. You already shot rock. As you say, if you peel, they nose it, and now you're looking at 2 with no double.
And I hear you guys say it all the time, make the competitor make the shot. I mean, don't make it for them. If she tries to run, misses, throws it badly, all of a sudden you jam.
See a shot, right? But I thought we still had a guard because it's the only chance we have of stealing.
Just don't want to slide deep here and leave Suzanne something to freeze to.
Similar to what you've been throwing on.
Okay.
So then, Joe, the pro miss on this is where?
Well, too light and they can hit and roll behind it. Too heavy, they have something to freeze to. So this is a precise shot.
Yeah, okay.
This is harder than the open peel.
Line's okay. Line's good. Top button. T line's good. Yep. Passed it. Top forward. Come here. Yes,
And by the guard.
Oh, jeez.
Died on them.
It's rotation, I think.
Sorry.
4-7. That's okay. Sorry.
You heard that, Brian, rotation, I think, and that's exactly what we talked about with PEI.
Jerry?
It's so important to be aware of that.
4-7.
we should just say, like, what's the time?
Okay, line's good. Top button. T line's good. Yep. Ashton. Top forward, put her down. Yep.
Fairly slow rotation coming in. It's getting a little soggy down the dead center this late in the game. Boy, a chance now. Roll buried.
I think they called just right on the nose, Russ.
Really?
Well, if it's a nose hit, I mean, it wouldn't be easy, but then there is a double opportunity to score your 3. So we'll see where this ends up for Suzanne Birt without hammer.
Yeah, interesting.
Her final stone in 7 without.
You're good. Great shot.
So a little flip inside and maybe actually just enough.
Good one. It's good. Nice. Good. It was,
It's thin AF.
super thin. You could just try and hit this thin. I know that's in the way, isn't it?
It is. It's gonna.
That's there, but if you wanted to be a little
really
safer,
wanna
you
draw.
could probably do this too, Joanne, with a lot of
Because you
speed,
have
and
to
it
go
crashes
so
in
wide.
here somewhere and redirects that way.
It's just one, right?
The double's not too far off a natural half rock.
Yeah, it's just like out here. Okay, peel.
And this isn't really lined
You almost
up.
have a catcher on the right-hand
Yeah,
side of the
wouldn't that
screen.
be?
This could be for 3.
But they're playing the slash, correct?
Yes,
Yeah, they're
they are
not
now.
playing the shot you're recommending.
Right. No, I like this one too, but
Okay.
there's the 2 ways.
If you can cut the sliver of this.
I think this is the best way to go. It's a little thinner than you'd like.
It's probably
This
just
is
as hard
okay.
as this.
This is okay.
This is a scoreboard throw here, Brian. You have to make some noise. You can't flash right by. So if you hit it thick, it's 7-5, and you still got hammer.
Third? Quarter?
It's worth it.
Quarter.
And some scores if you're keeping track at home. Canada in control. And wildcard 3 up by 1. And Jennifer Jones looking to pick up another win as well on sheet D, up by 7. So after that discussion, here in 7, final stone, Kayla Skrlik. And calling him off. Trying to slash it in, curl up a bit, don't want to flash it, and they'll pick it. And my goodness. They squirt it right through, but it's still a steal of 1. That was really hard to do, what she just did. 1 on the board, and some life for PEI and Suzanne Birt. Welcome back to our coverage at this year's Scotties, the 2023 edition Kamloops, BC. And a 7-5 lead for Alberta. Suzanne Birt, stolen point in 7, so 2-point game. And here in 8, it is Alberta with the Red Rocks with hammer, courtesy Kayla Skrlik out of the Garrison Curling Club in Calgary.
This is in the frost. Yep. I think this will be a slower path. A hair. Yeah. A couple feet more than what you've been giving. Yeah. It's sweet.
What a game for that young lady, Ashton Skrlik, as the 23-year-old. You know, you talk about a memory, your first Scotties. Well, she has come to play in this contest.
For sure. In the frost. Line's good.
I hear them talking about frost. That's good communication. This is coming hard. This is, at this point, a little heavy. And see if it slows down in that little bit wider area.
Take it back.
Oh, wow. It just really held.
It just grabs it and stays.
4-1.
Oh,
That's good. That's good, Ashton. That was my fault.
PEI threw a PEI threw a centerline guard on their first, but didn't end up touching the centerline, and Ashton was able to make the tick. You can see the PEI stone almost out of play. It's hard to do. The leads don't throw very many ticks anymore, and when the tick is being thrown off the center line, it's a spot that's a little bit harder to guess where to put the broom down. So she did well to make that.
Curl. Just like let it die.
Where?
Okay, we're halfway.
Clean.
It felt like lots. You want to next to it?
It's die.
Gotta let her sit. Okay. Hey, Michelle. Straightening up
Heel.
there, eh?
Good game.
Our first final this afternoon, handshakes. Another win for Team Canada. Carrie Anderson over Saskatchewan. And Kathy, your synopsis on this match.
Oh, they played so well. You look at some of the numbers, 98 for Shannon Burchard, 97 for Val Sweeting. Robin didn't run them up and down, but for Team Canada, the momentum will be tough. They are now off for the next 4 draws. They don't see this ice again until Thursday morning.
Good.
Well, they started 8-0 last year and winning their 3rd straight. And really on that path once again.
Put one in front of that. Double set. It's gonna make sure we can get in. Okay.
I didn't know where he was pointing.
Someone yelled. It almost sounded
You go
like
on the
someone
other
else
sheet.
yelled. I was like, oh, no.
What? You go around it.
No, it's all the same turn.
I don't hate this.
Okay.
Well, you know, you always want to play well against the province you're from when you got that new crest on your back, and Jerry-Lynn Ramsey has done that in this game.
Let's be really careful with that. Hi. You have a lot of room right now. I think line's nice, though.
Pretty high. Line's good.
Oh, we're there. It's curling now. We're there.
Yeah, I think it
Might
has to
overcurl.
die.
Careful.
Joe, you're from Alberta, correct? So you had the Ontario crest, you had that Alberta crest, and just thoughts on both getting to represent the provinces.
Yeah, winning your provincial or your territory is such a special feeling. To come into the Scotties on that role, to get that confirmation that your team is building towards something, it's huge. I love having the wildcard teams here. I think we see that the field is just outstanding because we have those wildcards here. But having that provincial crest on your back is something that you're so proud of.
Jerry-Lynn Ramsey.
Good, Jerry.
She'll drive that through.
Jerry-Lynn's just been having a hard time connecting on those double peels.
Yeah, not far off.
Very, very close. It's
Yeah, it
just
was a little frosty up there.
Yeah.
it leaves the door open for PEI to continue to put pressure on here.
Yeah, steal here, and they're right back in it.
Well, and you see it often in the 5-rock rule, Russ, where one team is defending for end after end after end, and if the opposition happens to claw their way back, all they've been doing is throwing draws for the last hour, whereas your team has only been throwing hits.
Missiles.
And that's how you see these upsets happen.
Yes, yes. Nice little opportunity here.
Okay, high. There you go then. Line's good.
So another guard.
Halfway.
We need some deep
Stay
curl.
close. Whoa.
Halfway on its own. It's diving.
I want maximum separation between these guards.
It's funny, they went out wide on the in-turn this end, and they weren't getting enough curl, and you heard the word frost. But on the out-turn side, they're going tighter where it's been worn down, and there's no frost, and everything's over curling and digging that little bit.
Clean. Clean. Yeah, clean. Clean.
Good shot.
Nice. Good, Britt.
Brittany Tran, another removal.
Nice. Good sweep. Do you want to call a timeout and talk about
Yeah.
this? Can we call a timeout and chat?
Time.
So the first time out of the game goes to PEI.
I know.
And the coach is Danny Christensen.
They played in the rings early last end. They've delayed a lot more this end.
Decide if we do guard or we come in.
I think she's coming around now.
Yeah.
If we throw
You're
a guard.
probably right, but I just want to make sure we discuss and decide.
So what are you going to play? Just a freeze? Just try to freeze on that one? I don't mind that. She's probably going to feel, but then you put the guard back.
And if we freeze and we're shot and she peels, she might try to hit and fly the ones in the house.
Yeah, never know.
We'll come around.
We're gonna. Yeah.
If it's not perfect, she might try to get the ones in the house out, but then we'd still have this to be fighting for.
I like the
could be
freeze.
on.
I like the freeze right now.
I'm good with it. I just want to make sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Excellent.
Just want to have a good discussion so no one's doubting or Like it? Yeah. I think it's the time.
A little extra swoop here now. Gonna get the broom in the right spot.
Okay, let's go make a nice one here. Nice and positive here.
Yep, you got it. Same speed, or is it a hair?
Yeah,
like, is
same
it
path,
same,
these two.
Same as it's been.
Murray Christensen won a U Sports silver back in 2010 for St. Mary's University as a skip. Also a silver at the Canadian Mixed Curling Championship in Winnipeg back in 2019.
Close, though. Line's good.
We're through almost.
No, stay close. Line's gonna get there.
Yeah, we're back 12.
Wait.
Do you want me to go for it?
Michelle!
Gotta go.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Good.
And they are shot stone.
They were yelling back 8, back 12 there. It's really coming down on the out turn.
Yeah, with brooms off, I'm surprised that stopped. I timed it from hog to hog. It was a 13-3. That should have been back 12, even
Right.
back line. It was about a 14.5 in practice. That's the hog to hog time curlers use for reference.
All right, Kathy, wildcard 3, Megan Walter, East St. Paul Curling Club out of Manitoba and New Brunswick. Andrea Kelly, Capital Winter Club. Update time.
Andrea Kelly tried the double on her first and just ticked the guard, and so Megan replaced it. But the shot stone is available to Andrea. Needs to get to the nose, cannot afford to roll to the wing. Has to roll in for the single.
Kelly converting just one of her last 10 hammers here at the Scotties. Oh, good scrub, nice little bump, and one. So that's a tight battle. What's been the difference there, Kathy? Back and forth, close game it looks like.
Megan Walters had some terrific draw weight. She has made big shots when she's needed to. And Andrea Kelly, I believe, is just putting the broom in the right spot and getting the most out of her players.
Top baby. Top 4. Hey, out. Harder, keep it out there. Line's good. Top 4.
Brittany just skinned by the guard. The peel weight made a great kicking out the PEI rock and get rid of the backing. Beautiful shot.
All you guys, keep going. Fully.
Okay.
Sweet.
And Kathy, right back to you. Yukon, Bernie, Manitoba, Jones.
And an opportunity for 3, leaving lots of rocks around. Has presented an opportunity, looking for a nose hit. For 3, Jennifer tried to hit and roll on her final, but just got to the nose.
As Bernie picked up her first Scotties win here in Kamloops. Coming in that 1-3 record, Jennifer Jones trying to get to 5 wins. Oh, a little catcher and
good enough.
Yeah, that'll help. So there's your 3. Couple high-scoring games for Jennifer Jones today.
Yeah, she's got the offense running. Got to work on the defense.
And the first here in our feature from Kayla Skrlik.
We need it to come off completely.
Starting to try.
No, I think we are right off.
Suzanne's draw was not draggable. I had a 14-4 on that one, but this might have fooled Alberta. That's now the 3rd rock down this path. Kayla just with the straight overthrow.
Yeah, she's do that really hard.
But you try to do the math out there. You take some hog to hog times, you see what the other team's rocks are doing, and you think you really want to get this in there for shot rock. And just like that, we've seen it on this surface. When it seems to be slow first down the path, the second one gets a bit better, and that one was just swept the whole way. So it runs a bit faster than expected.
Player comparisons are brought to you by New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada. And Russ, we focus here on the 4th rock throwers.
Yeah, the numbers aren't as high as they could be. I know for Suzanne, it's basically degree of difficulty. She's had some tough ones.
And right now it is a plus for Alberta at 3 of the 4 positions. You have to outscore your competitor by 5% or more to get the plus. So a chance here in 8 for Suzanne Birt to force, maybe score.
Back 4.
Big rotation here. That could glide a little bit, even though it's just a slower area.
starting to make its move. And this will settle back 4. So they do lie 2 without hammer. And yeah, the broom down. It will be the draw for 1 here for Kayla Skrlik.
To go and then Suzanne.
Yeah.
And as we looked at the numbers, remember to start this game, Kayla, the best draw numbers of all the skips at this championship so far.
And a great hitter at the same time. Just a wonderful future for this team. Now this is a perfect recipe for coming up light. You just threw it heavy. You got to take something off of it. It curls sooner into the slower area, and they might not be able to drag it.
Suzanne put her rock in a great spot. We need a good chunk of the forefoot here.
Final stone in 8.
Line's good.
Kayla Skrlik,
Take a look.
a chance to take a 3-point cushion.
Line's good. Line's good.
And head down all the way.
You're not on it.
We're close. Hard.
As you heard, this front end really has to go.
Hard. Really hard, Britt.
It's on it now. Hard, Britt.
Really gotta go hard, Britt.
What a push from Tran. A few late scrubs.
Good.
And just enough. I thought it might have curled just a little bit too far at the end. But you got to tip your cap. Absolutely great sweeping to pull that in for Alberta. And that 3-point cushion. That's a great look at that delivery. Team Alberta. And that was a great team shot. You know, anytime a sweeping shot is made, Joe up here, big smile on her face. And that was a great brush, though, all kidding aside, to make sure they indeed got that single to make it 8-5.
Yeah, sweepers picked it up great out of Kayla's hand, and if they hadn't done that, it would have been a steal of 1.
It's such a game of momentum within the game. You look at that scoreboard early on, PEI, great start, 3-0, bang, right away Alberta answers back, and you kind of felt PEI squeaking back into the game, Russ. And, you know, that's a big, it sounds silly, that's a big single point when you talk momentum and timing in the game.
Well, you know, but with the 5-rock rule and 2 rocks that can't be removed down the center, it's not like it's over. Like, there's lots of opportunity here. Now they're going to, PEI's going to have to make everything. The stranger things have happened. You know, drawing against 2 like there, that could have been a steal easy.
Gotta go. Really gotta go.
Look at that curl. It's starting to dig a little bit in the center.
Keep going. Good.
If I was PEI, I'd want to try to get the Alberta skipper to draw against a couple.
Halfway.
Yeah, if you can ever force the team into a spot they haven't seen in a while. It depends on how you work in the sheet in arena ice at times. Sometimes there's weather with frost and humidity, but other times it's if you haven't thrown aside all game.
Sure.
The first time you hit there, it's fresh, or is it going to still be good, or is it really, really slow? It's kind of a guessing game.
With the no dehumidification here in this building, it's tough for Mike Merkliger and crew to you know, you can't do anything about the frost. So it really is broom sensitive. You go to a little bit wider, you're guessing.
We're there. Just past your broom, really. Good, Jerry. Good.
We got to move the middle.
Just wondering if we do that. Okay. Roll to here.
Sure.
Show me a ways in. Yep. Think so.
Just normal? Okay.
9. Okay.
Normal weight run back here, but the really important piece for PEI is to save that shooter. Get 3 guards out front. Even if you don't make the double, just keep that shooter around. Roll for a corner.
Megan. Curl, yeah.
Really hard.
Yeah, to your point.
Really hard. Really hard.
Okay.
There's one less chance now by losing that yellow one.
Suzanne, come here. Suzanne. Feel. Okay. You got it right to your room. You got there. Yep. Heel. Clean. 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 Just heavy. Clean. Yeah. Good shot, Jer. Good.
Sherilyn Ramsey makes the peel of the yellow.
It's a great week so far for Jerry Lynn.
Did you call in or short? Short. I think just suck one around.
I didn't hear. Short.
It's funny, the fact that you heard the interviews with the Skiffs and Kayla say, and it's a special week because Jerry Lynn gets to play against PEI. I mean, they're thinking about that stuff, right? It's cool that, you know that for Kayla and this team, they wanted to have a great game for Jerry Lynn.
Yeah, Jerry Lynn wore that PEI jersey in her first Scotties, but also throughout juniors. Went to a few junior nationals.
Weight's fine. That's good.
This is a well-placed rock. Nice amount of separation. Had to make sure it was over-buried around that high guard. If it would have been peeking out a little bit, you would have seen Alberta go after that one.
You got it. Yep. Clean. Clean. Clean.
Brittany Tran's made a lot of those in this game today.
I like that. Okay. I like this. That's fine. Yeah.
So going to go in behind that tight corner, it looks like.
Yeah, you'd have to try to find a way to hide something. The freeze is so difficult now because you can blast them out of there. The striking bends are so quick that getting this buried, even if it's back 12.
Are these those blue hone inserts, Russ?
Yeah, they are. And the hard part when you're losing like PI is the other team, just once you get up to throwing like a 9-second, 8-second hit, it's just poker straight. It's wherever the broom is, and it's target practice after that.
No. It's good. Just 3. That's good. That's 13.
We're shot 1 and 2.
The speed on this sheet has slowed down dramatically, Russ. I had a 13-1 on that.
Really?
They were sweeping that briefly, trying to get a rub off of one of those red ones until it curled too much. That's not something we saw yesterday. Yesterday in the ninth end, speed to the wing, or the day before, it was 15 seconds to the tee line.
Exactly, so. Especially inside out.
Actually not bad going that deep because the run back isn't really available.
Now this is the age-old question. Do you want to hang around here 3 points up, or do you want to just fly? It kind of keeps them busy if you hang around, but it might give them another opportunity to put you under pressure.
Hi, Jerry. It's tempting to outcount that rock in the back 12, though.
Oh, okay. Not bad.
Thanks.
Okay. Sorry.
That's good.
This is not that much curl, I don't think.
I haven't seen this path to the middle in a very long time.
True, it's out pretty wide.
Yeah, there you go. That's good, I think. Yeah, I like that. Let's go. Yeah, you got it.
So we'll test this path. Marie Christensen.
It's close. Thought it was close. T, stay close. Back 4. Running a bit. Running out there. Back 4. Back 8. We're good for weight. We're tapping. Whoa. Way to curl it? No. Okay. Just too much, I think, because it was so straight. Yeah. I don't think that's there, Kale.
All right, Kathy, one more time. Close game, 5-5. New Brunswick, wild card 3, Walter.
And this has the potential to be the game shot. On her final stone, Andrea facing those 4 came around. She was trying to freeze that back stone. It did not get quite there, so trying to run her own in at an angle and remove it for 4 or 5.
Wow, Megan Walter. What an opportunity. On the brush, trying to slash it over, tap it, spin it, get it through a little bit more.
Go.
And it looks like, how many there, Kathy?
I think 3.
What a shot.
Yellow, yeah. Thank you.
A good brush, too. She'll pick up 3.
You know, she had to go out in the frost, and she just didn't overthrow it, which is amazing. And then you had to filter through that little port at the back. Brilliant.
And really, at 1 and 3, a must-win for that wild card team out of the East St. Paul Curling Club.
Whoa. Yes!
Back to our feature, just grazing the double.
Real good sweep, but
You can tell how confident they are on that call, like to graze that right by and to try to make a double. Very, very in control here.
And handshakes, and Jennifer Jones 2 for 2 on this Tuesday, Kathy.
Well, and it's a really well-played game for the first part, but I do think that Jennifer and the team left a lot of rocks around. They didn't get into a defensive mode, and that's also a mode you want to get in the groove of, because if you get up as the week goes on, you're going to have to hit, and they didn't play a lot.
She threw it really well.
Right?
Like, yeah.
Like
that's just,
God, it was just so close. Literally papered it.
Took a risk there trying to make that double.
I don't think it was there.
Good shot.
I'm glad to see the over top.
Me sad.
That was so exciting, too, in that provincial final. I think that broom is still flying from that celebration. It was just, but that's awesome, right? I mean, that's the absolute pure joy and that satisfaction, excitement, elation of going to your first Scotties.
Yeah, that's what it means to get to a national championship.
Stay line, stay. Holding right now, make sure. Top 4. Looks like you gotta go.
Got a little bit of a pocket here.
Can they drag it there, though, Russ?
They still got the line at the moment.
Gotta go.
Just by the top red, drag it a little bit farther. And they'll find top 4, and that is, for now, shot stone here in 9.
Very nice.
I feel like these PEI sweepers have done so many end-to-end sweeps this game, and when you pick that rock up out of the hand, it is a long 25 to 30 seconds to get to the other end. At this point, you're just trying to force your arms to move, and that's just good enough for shot rock. Trying to just lean as much of your body into it as you can. It's just great sweeping.
Oh gosh, that makes me nervous. You can catch
Yeah,
here
that's
catch here.
that's
We're asking for it.
risky. Yeah. This?
We can go timeout too. We've got like 2. You're like,
I know, but I think the pick out is actually really hard.
I think that's
right?
really hard.
Yeah.
Like I think you're also throwing board, and then that's just
yeah.
danger.
And then this hit and roll, if I
It's just
miss it,
harder
is
for-
bad. Cause
because she's gonna. Then she's, I guess, gonna have it if we do this, right?
Okay, right here. I like it.
Okay.
Right here.
That's the first thing you look at, but it's obviously dangerous. You jam it there, you jam it there. It's an easy shot. If you somehow lose all the reds, that other yellow over here could come into play. I kind of like this. You kind of want to hit something. You could hit and roll off the left red and roll in. But the easiest way to bury, the easiest way to freeze the back one is this shot right here.
Yeah, and even if you happen to miss this light, Suzanne would have to go even wider and try to get a chunk of a good piece of the 4, a little piece of the button.
I can't see how it goes.
And if you make this, you basically win. You're the most they're going to get to one.
So her final stone, Kayla Skrlik, here in 9. Leading by 3 without hammer.
Great. Yep. Hard.
Sweepers on this one out of the hand again.
Tran and Ashton Skrlik, they have not stopped.
A little bit. Can you rub off it? No, that's okay.
Good sweep.
It's the right way to miss.
What was that? Shoot.
So the opportunity here
It really sweeps
for PEI to pick up 2 and get within 1.
Should get to that, so.
I'd be tempted to throw the same turn as her last, but there's less real estate to work with here. So she's going to go the other way, where there's a little bit more of the 4-foot available.
Sweep for T-line.
Suzanne's out turn, which should
come over.
help too. Keep it tracking out there long enough to get by.
Yeah. Nice positive throw here.
So a great opportunity. 73%, 12 draws today. Suzanne Birt, final stone here in 9.
Keep it out there. Line's nice. Easy. Where? Running. Line's good. Line's okay. Room. Just sweep for T. Sweep for T-line. T-line.
Needs curl. Yeah, it's Megan's. Whoa.
Weight looks close, but it's got to finish up. Curl in, get second shot stone. It is close. It is perfect. What a shot, Suzanne Birt in a must-make picks up her 2 with a big-time draw. 8-7 Alberta through 9 as Skrlik with hammer when we come home in 10 here at Kamloops. That was a lovely shot from Suzanne Birt, making her 14th Scotties appearance. That veteran experience, and what a draw. Curled in beautifully to pick up 2. So here in 10, it is Alberta leading by 1 with hammer, but we have a game coming home.
And game on now. There's 2 center line guards, both touching center, cannot be removed from the center line. And Ashton Skrlik slipped deep on her first one. That's not going to be helpful for Team Alberta.
Probably the only error all game for Ashton.
Hard! Top 12. Tight. Hard, Jerry, your body. Hard. Hard.
Do not want to leave this short of the rings.
No.
Keep it moving. Go, 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 go. Hard, Jerry. Hard, 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 hard.
What a scrub to even get that to top 12.
Now you're frustrated at lead if you do that. A little heavy on your first. Don't want to be heavy again, and just made a little bit too much of an adjustment.
Yeah, even though those reds are not the worst rocks I've ever seen, it's probably the worst spot you could put any. All 4 are helping Suzanne now.
Yeah. Holding. Got a lot of rotation.
Yeah, we can't really go. No.
Okay. Stay close.
No. Yeah, this is a bit heavy.
So a mistake there, and that will allow Alberta, Jerry Lynn Ramsey, to clean some granite up.
Yeah. You got it, Jer. You got it. Right.
Rock number 6.
She's been so close to connecting all game. Now will be a great time for her.
Little down.
Big call.
Roll it.
And she gets them both going. The young lady from Summerside PEI.
7-9.
Now calling Calgary home. And it is a final. 8-5, wild card 3. And Megan Walter keeping her Scotties dream alive with the win over New Brunswick and Andrea Kelly.
And some really good numbers for both backhand players, Abby Ackland and Megan Walter, feeling very comfortable out here now.
Stay close. Yeah. Curling. You gotta go. Curling. Line straight. Really hard. Hold that line. Hold it, Megan. Go. Line straight. Go. You gotta keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Right to here. Go, 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 go.
Nice, Michelle.
And Michelle Shea does have a good one. Top hearts, buried shot stone, PEI.
What a great adjustment. Heavy on her first.
Loads.
And that's a perfect spot on her second. Top button.
That was a good shot.
Once this peel's made, the rock that's hurting Alberta is the one they threw themselves.
Clean. Clean. Whoa. Clean, clean, clean.
Good, Jerry.
It's funny whether it's just experience or a vibe, but you just feel, even though PEI's down by 1 without hammer, you know, they feel like the calmer team out there right now. Or am I just making that up?
I think you're dead right. I think they've been at this more often. They're used to this. It's a comfort thing for them, where it has to be a little nerve-wracking for the Alberta team. We'll line those up.
Sorry, guys. There's no drag. It's too much room.
Enjoying those games where you've had a lead, you felt light, you felt in control. It must just sort of drive you a little bit nuts that it's this close in a 10th end game with hammer. I know you're up by 1, but you know there's still some nerves there.
Yeah, of course, it's not automatic. Up 1 with hammer.
Not only can you get rid of the top, which is the problem, but I think you can get at the shot rock with this. If you hit it thick, it won't drag. Close.
And away goes that yellow. And that's a little sigh of relief now for Team Alberta.
Good shot. Great shot. Real nice, Britt.
Their fans obviously in the house at Sandman Center. One more look. And that was a much needed shot, courtesy Brittany Tran.
Okay, halfway.
So close.
Halfway.
Stay close.
2. We're good.
Good.
It's good.
Nice.
That's good. Yeah.
I think we had to on that for sure. What do you like for the next? I don't hate.
Okay, we'll have to shoot the gap this way, I think. It'll jam, but that's okay. Okay, peel.
Perfect depth on that guard by PEI. This is a little complicated to remove.
Yeah, I thought they'd go the other way, but I guess it's easier to jam onto the shot rock. Oh yeah, for sure. Stranger things.
Peel. Whoa. Yep. 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 Whoa. Real nice,
And Brittany Shooter, yeah, just on the red, so no harm done.
I don't know. I like it here.
I'm just thinking
tap
we
it
have
there.
two. Okay, you go ahead. Yep. Tap back. Let's go.
Strange situation. You
go this
you want to
way.
make it
Yeah,
as hard as you can to get the steal of one, but you could also probably sit 3 or 4 and let her throw 2.
Given there's been a few misses from Kayla Skrlik on the draws. So if I'm PEI, I want her drawing, and preferably drawing against the loss.
So in that case, you could
We have 2.
actually
But
hit the top one and roll in front. They peel, you take it out, you sit 4.
Back a couple feet.
Now, mind you, none of them are close to the center, but stranger things again. Right now, the Alberta's got a saver in there too.
Down to 4th rock throwers here in 10. An 8-7 advantage for Team Alberta.
Yes, line. Top 4. Gotta go line. Back 4. Gotta go line. Back 4. Line's good.
It'll hook hard here.
Keep going, Megan. Keep going. Right to it. Go.
Trying to hold that line. There's your tap.
That's good. Hey.
So it is shot stone, Team Alberta.
It's good. Good sweep.
Interesting spot to where they tapped it. You peel it out and they lock one on the pin.
You want to stick around a little. I kind of like that. It's just if she locks it on and then we blast. This is taking this out.
So
I think we want to stick.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And it's easy
Control.
angle and that.
Yeah.
And a timeout called from Team Alberta. Crystal Webster will come out. She is the 5th.
I think we got to stick around.
I agree. I like that.
That's fair.
I mean, I don't even mind throwing to have both of those go, right?
No, we don't want both going. I don't think. I think hidden roll here.
I like it.
With control.
Yeah, because then if she does something good, you can probably rip it.
Yeah.
Right?
And then this is your counter. So
Yeah.
It's going to take it away.
Yeah.
With it.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
do you like?
Whatever you
Right
know the
here?
ice best for, but
We
yeah,
don't know
I
the
like
ice
that.
really. That's the problem. But I think right here for
I think this
control.
side will run straight.
Yeah.
Compared to this side.
Okay, right here, control.
But I think that looks
A hair
for
more?
control.
Yeah, like that.
I think so.
I think so. We can hold it.
Love the discussion here. If you peel it like I've thrown the diagram, then the freeze comes in the yellow. To hammer that out of there, you could accidentally, Alberta, take out both your reds and lose the game with a rollout. So what they're trying to do here is have another saver. Hit it, roll to our left, stay in the 8-foot, 12-foot, closer than all those nibblers. Then when the freeze is made, you can throw a rocket down there, kill a couple of reds, and you win because you've got this rock over on the side. Heads up call, I thought.
You're really well thought out.
Yeah.
Control down.
Kayla Skrlik with her first here in 10.
Control down. 11. 11.
Close in.
11.
Close.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Hard.
Hard.
Brittany Tran on the brush. avoid the jam, roll it over. And for now, it is Team Alberta with Hammer lying to 3.
Nice shot.
What was that?
Came up a bit on her at the end, didn't it?
Yeah, once it started to curl, it was hard to stop.
That out turn's been really hooking last 2-3 ends.
The hard part about the line call is you can't call the sweepers on when you aren't hitting enough because they didn't want to roll out.
Right.
But as soon as it started to curl.
We'll call the timeout. Well, actually,
I think with like back.
Come in. Or time is good. So.
What if we just hit and roll?
A little flop on it.
I don't hate that.
So second time
If we
out.
even half
PEI.
under. Even half under, she has something to think about.
Yeah,
But
she's
if
got
we're
this to
here,
run
she got
with.
a teaser. Yeah, and it's a hard draw.
That's what I'm
It's a hard
thinking.
draw, so I think she'd have to play a hit of some kind.
I think you're better just if you bump it just back 4 flop. Not even fully under, say 3/4, half under.
Roll like a rock and a half? If we're playing, we've seen this over curl on her control weight, so if we are playing control, we just got to take enough ice. What kind of weight do you like?
But you can play the
10.
top, right?
10? You like?
If you play the top, keeping that around is good, right?
Yeah.
You want that to stay.
roll
So
it
if she
at-
plays this run back,
Yeah,
it's got something to catch.
what are you seeing? Let's decide here now.
It's easier, I think,
I
to
think it's
control
I just
a
think
little
that
bit
the
of
top
weight.
is hard with that ice.
Yeah, that's
With
true.
the way it's straighter
Yeah,
here, I
yeah,
think we
gotcha.
have to do this
Yeah.
to make her throw. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yep,
Yep, you got
that's
it.
it. Lots of time.
So
Lots
I'm
of time.
thinking here, Suzanne, with your 10.
If you can roll to somewhere in that area, that red-yellow could jam, so then you probably draw. How do you draw with that guard on the right-hand side? So that would be a really good spot somewhere in there. Roll about a foot, maybe.
So the call's a 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got time.
Yeah.
And there you see Team Ontario Rachel Holman. As Rachel, the 3-time Scotties champ, right beside Emma Miskew, Tracy Fleury, and company all ready for practice after this. They won't play until tomorrow morning. They had the whole day off. They'll play tomorrow morning versus wildcard 3 Megan Walter. And all eyes on this final stone in 10 without Hammer.
Nice wave,
Suzanne Birt has to be shot stone when the dust settles here. And right out of her hand, a big scrub the entire way. She's got to be the shot stone. Hits, rolls, and that'll do it. Team Alberta. In what was a close game. Some momentum changes throughout. But Kayla Skrlik, after struggling a bit to start the event, getting some momentum, a 3-point win as they take it 10-7. And the Alberta fans in the house cheering on this young team out of the Garrison Curling Club in Calgary. Yeah, sigh of relief now. Some tense moments, but you know what? This young Kayla Skrlik skip continues to impress, and getting a little more confidence with each and every shot and game and win. So, we're edging closer to championship weekend. Carrie Anderson, 6-0. So unbelievable start for her as Jones, McCarville, Galusha, Holman. I mean, 5-1 Jones, McCarville's right there. And you look at the two teams that will try join Anderson and get into that playoffs top 3. Skrlik 3 wins, Grandy 3 wins, Black. I mean, Laws, it is going to be fun down the stretch. Fun for us, maybe not so much for the players and the stress and the families watching on. We'll step aside from Kamloops and wrap up our coverage next.
The 2023 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is presented by Kruger Products, the softest and strongest supporters for over 40 years. By BKT Tires and OK Tire. By Home Hardware, Here's How. And by New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada.
That is so awesome. Young fans, autographs, photos after the game as Kayla Skrlik is becoming a star here at her first Scotties, which brings us, Joe, to the game story.
And we saw flashes of Suzanne Birt with beautiful draws, 1 in 6 to stop the bleeding, 1 in 9 to stay alive, but ultimately she could not find that consistency. And Team Skrlik was strong, defending their lead all the way to the 10th end.
The game story brought to you by Tim Hortons, proudly serving Canada's favorite coffee. So we're not done yet on this Tuesday. It is Draw 12, Pool A tonight at the Scotties. Laurie St. George, 2-2 record out of Quebec. And Caitlin Law's team wild card number 1 at 3-1. That is tonight, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, as Vic, Russ, Joe, and Kathy will have you covered. Great day of curling. Some of the young stars in the game making their mark. And of course, some of the all-time greats continuing to roll. Wins from Anderson, Jones. It's going to be a fantastic push to championship weekend. On behalf of all of us at TSN, thank you for watching our coverage from Kamloops. We'll see you tonight from British Columbia.
Not even